As I said,
talking to
get
half
that
shots
away from me.
microphone. Oh. I just ran over my... What's up, everybody? Y'all know what it is. It's we're about 1 minute early, guys. It's the Nice Guy Indie Podcast. You know what we do. It's Wednesday night. We watch wrestling. We talk to wrestlers. We have wrestlers in the studio. We just be doing our shit. You know that. So we got, as always, I got Superfly Johnny Lee.
Damn straight, damn straight.
And on the other side of him, we got special guest, Southern Outlaw, Chris Blade.
Oh.
Yeah, and then on the other side of him, we got special guest, and he don't want to be the character that I want him to be.
Half shotty
he's
shot.
Gonna be all right. Got a little half shot over there.
What's up?
You know, y'all seen
Speaking
him.
of Mike.
Y'all seen him as playing Mickey
What's
Mouse at the shows, and he's getting over with that. He got a lot of views, and he don't like the. Everybody just please comment and tell everybody loves Mickey Mouse, and we gotta get Mickey Mouse back.
Yeah.
So
And he'll beat me up later.
yeah. And our special guest tonight is Brandon Valor, Kentucky pro wrestler.
Damn straight.
What's up, you guys?
What's up, man? You guys go ahead and talk, and I'm gonna
Hey.
share the.
I got a question for you, Brandon.
Go right ahead. What's up?
What inspired you to get into professional wrestler?
Oh, man. So I was born in the 80s, and I grew up in a time where pro wrestlers were like these comic book superheroes. You know, like Hulk Hogan was the ultimate good guy.
Yep.
And then you had like The Undertaker, who is this evil force, you know, like this zombie bad guy. And you had people like Big Boss Man, who stood for law and justice. And then, you know, like Ted DiBiase, who was all corrupt and greedy. And so everybody had this kind of larger than life persona to them. And I was really drawn to that. You know, people like the Ultimate Warrior, who would fight to his last breath. You know what I mean? He was just insane and over the top and colorful. So that's what I grew up loving, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what got me into it.
I hear that. Where did you get your training?
Okay, so a long time ago, back in about 2004, 2005, some friends of mine convinced me to go out to some indie shows in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. There was a little company called KIA Wrestling, a short-lived company that was training wrestlers and putting on shows of a bunch of local indie guys around here. And so my friends who I had been backyard wrestling with, they convinced me to put down some money and go train. So I can say that we were trained in the first six-sided ring in Kentucky, as far as I know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, those things are rough. If you've ever stood in one and taken a flat back bump, they hurt.
They're rougher than a four-sided ring.
Yeah, shout out to those X Division wrestlers in Impact who have to bump in the six-sided rings. I don't know if they still have it yet or not.
They don't.
No,
Not
they
now.
don't. They don't do it anymore.
No.
Thanks to Hulk Hogan.
Thank you, Hulk Hogan, for taking away our six-sided ring.
I know, right?
loved it. It looked. I mean, I never wrestled in one of them, but I always liked the six-sided ring. I always thought that was the Impact thing. That was.
It was unique.
One of the coolest things ever, I thought. But
And
and I understand why the wrestlers wouldn't want to ring. I never knew that part of it. Nobody ever said that part. I was like, it was a bad ring to wrestle in. I just loved the way it looked.
Just from what I found, there's more steel braces underneath of it because of the structure of it. So that just means more steel, less wood,
Yep.
less bending and bouncing. So you would just hit that thing like a ton of bricks. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
just ask
But-
AJ Styles.
Oh yeah, ask AJ Styles. But the six-sided rings were great for things like X Division matches and ladder matches and stuff. You could really get creative with all the extra angles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. So
And-
anyway, I trained there for about 6 months, and then they put me in the ring, and we wrestled there for about a year until they closed down. I say we because there's a couple of notable people that were on the indie scene around that time. Alex Zane is one of the guys I broke in with, and we trained there. Marvelous Mike Mondelli, Raziel. We had a good group of guys that they wrestled on the indie scene there for 8 or 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sounds like you had a great time.
I did, yeah. So I left the industry for about 10, 11 years, and decided to come back last year in November. So that's when I made my big return.
And also when you came up with the character Brandon Valor.
Yeah. So back in the day, the first 6 years that I wrestled, I was known as Brandon Midas, and I thought pro wrestling is all about these golden championships and trophies, and it's always about the gold. So I had a character that was obsessed with gold, obsessed with earning titles and winning and beating people. But it's been so long, I don't think anyone knows me by that name. And there's a local pro wrestler around here named Mickey Midas.
Yep.
And he's awesome. And he's way more famous than me, also. So I didn't want to try and compete in the same space with him, having that same name. So I had to go with something different.
That's true. And where you been wrestling at?
Okay, so a good friend of mine is an independent wrestler named Shane Mercer. And so he wrestles for GCW, and he started his own little company called XCF, where he's brought in a bunch of his friends, former retired wrestlers like myself. He brought us out of retirement. There's a few guys that are just getting started.
Nice.
So we have what we call the XCF Dojo, and
Hell yeah.
we convene in the arena in Jeffersonville, and we all train together. And he sends us all out on little excursions to different companies to wrestle and train and network.
That's how you learn.
He is, yeah. So,
And we got our first comment. Corey Dwayne Warwick. He says, "Hey guys, how's it going? This is my first time watching. Thank you, Mickey Mouse." Haha. You got a fan.
That's my neighbor.
But yeah, you've been learning. You've been going on excursions. What's the companies that you want to work for?
okay, so this is an easy one. I already run camera for New South Pro Wrestling, as you guys know.
Yep.
I see you guys out there doing your great podcast live on site at the shows, which I think is badass. And so I'm usually behind the camera there. But I've talked to the powers that be in that company and said, I want to get in on this upstart brand. I think Brand Valor has a lot of value in front of the camera, not just behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Damn straight.
So New South, before the end of the year, I want to get in there and maybe even take a title or two.
Hey, I can see it. I mean, you also work for EWA. You wrestle for them.
Yeah, so EWA had their first show a couple of weeks ago, and you guys were at that one too. I saw you on site, and at this one, I was not behind the camera. I was on the card, and so I made my re-debut in Kentucky for
And
the first time in 12 years.
And you impressed us very much. First time we saw you.
Well, thank you. You know, coming into a rumble like that, you feel like that's almost like your audition for a new company. You know what I'm saying? And I just wish I hadn't run up against Omega, because
Yes.
he cut my night short, baby.
Yes, he did. Kyle Malenko's here. He said this. He said, "Well, I met this guy at TCW at the arena. It's Kai, the Samoan wrestler." Oh, Corey Dwayne Work has something for you.
Mhm.
He said, "What's the dream match and dream stipulation that you are wanting in the future?"
Oh man. So in a perfect world, I think probably Seth Rollins right now, and I know that's a really lofty goal because he's a WWE superstar, but I get compared to him a lot. People say you look like a Seth Rollins mini me or something like that, and I just think, well, he and I are the same age, so that's kind of weird.
That is.
But anyway, yeah. So I think Seth Rollins is just the best guy in WWE. He has the most consistent matches. He's constantly cracking me up with the outfits, like at WrestleMania. You saw what he wore.
Yep.
That pink fluffy
Yep.
trench coat sort of
Yep,
thing.
that.
And the
Hey,
bubblegum pants or whatever those were.
that's right. And also the bubblegum straps like Jeff Jarrett
Yeah.
from 1990s.
You got the giant boots, the stomp.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I would.
The man's got drip, I tell you.
He does have drip. Yeah. So I would love to fight Seth Rollins one day.
And Becky Lynch was completely jealous. She said, "Oh, I'm so jealous of that because he gets to go out there dressed like that."
Brandon, I have a question for you.
What's up, bro?
So, like, what's your bucket list? Not just like to make it to the big leagues, but like independent scene. What's your bucket list? And just name some of like the big name wrestlers in the independent scene that you would want to like your dream match to work with. So,
Oh, that's awesome. So we got AEW in the background, and I'm looking over and I see Darby Allin. And Darby Allin's not a lot larger than me, but I love him. I think he is a work of art in the ring as an artist. I think he's totally different than everybody else. So I'd love to fight Darby Allin someday.
I could see it.
It'd be fresh. It'd be fresh.
It'd be a damn good match.
So another one is my friend Shane Mercer, who, again, he's like the leader of our dojo, but he's also kind of like that final boss for all of us in the dojo, is to finally have a match with our teacher, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's an Iron Demon, so that'd be a great match between you and him.
It's a tough mountain to climb, yeah, but I'm not afraid of him either. I'll take a fight to him.
That's right.
Yeah.
He likes to throw people, though, I hear.
Yeah, that's what I have to avoid at all costs, is being a lawn dart, being chucked by him.
Yeah, because look at him. The man is a beast. And you're Brandon Valor. You got to think smarter than him. Outwork him, outspeed him.
You're totally right. So, one day I will get to fight him. He actually, Shane Mercer is the person who retired me in the first place. We had a four corners chairs match, and at the end of the match, he put all four chairs together and then lifted me up on top of his shoulders and threw me off the top rope onto all four chairs.
Yep.
And that was what retired me for 12 years. So I have that in the back of my mind whenever I go to face him.
You're
one day.
basically going to be getting your revenge right there.
If I can get it, yeah, I'm taking it.
Damn straight.
And then you made another good point. You said you started with a guy named Alex Zane, which, I mean, Alex Zane is, I think, wrestled. Is he still in Japan or not? But Alex Zane's made his name. Like, he's put Lexington, he's put Kentucky on the map. I mean, he's so good at what he does. And
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, I knew Alex when we were kids. We were like teenagers doing backflips in the backyard, beating the crap out of each other. We didn't even have a ring.
You know his cousin Brian?
Not really.
I work with. He said he was in the backyard wrestling with him too.
Yeah.
I work with him at UPS I work with Alex Zane's cousin. Like, we talk like all the time. Hopefully I'll have him on the podcast. But I want
straight.
Alex on the podcast though. We try to get him on the podcast all the time, but he's never in town. You know.
Yeah.
But
Because
he's
he's in
like,
Japan.
he's up for doing it. He's like, "Oh, come on!" Like, when I've asked him like twice, I've talked to him in person a couple times, and he and his cousin's like, "Yeah, he said, come on, man. Anytime when he comes in town, like if he got some free time." But he's always in Japan, like wrestling.
Yeah. I think he's been announced for an XCF show coming up in the fall. I'm not sure exactly on the date of that, but
Well, I like
hopefully
that.
not breaking any news here. But
No, yeah.
yeah, I think he should be coming through. So maybe we can.
He's awesome, man. He's been on Impact. He was on he was on
He's
what,
been in
WWE?
Japan.
He was in WWE for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah.
In NXT.
Yeah, they dropped the ball by releasing him because
Yeah,
he was
they
a
did.
great talent.
Absolutely. And I think it's so cool to see a guy that I know, and we were like teenagers together, and I remember him giving me a drop kick in training and it completely destroying the inside of my mouth because I had braces.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how young I was. And then to see him over there wrestling like Hiroshi Tanahashi in New Japan.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome,
It's
man.
That's a damn
Unreal.
good match.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Hey, you got an opponent that wants to face you.
Who's that?
Kai Malenko, he said, hell of a good wrestler. What you say, you versus me?
Oh, bring it on. I'm not scared of anybody.
That's right. He's not scared of you, Kai. You want a piece of him?
I'm a pretty big guy.
You know where to find him.
I'm probably about 6'6", 275 pounds. I'm a
That's
big
true.
dude. You don't want to mess with me.
That's true, and Kai's not exactly your height.
Oh,
Have you seen him?
I don't know if I have I?
He's literally, I mean, he might come up to a bit to your chest, but you overtower him by a lot.
Yeah.
So he's basically asking to fight a giant.
Oh, okay. But is he strong?
That's the question.
That's the question, right?
Because look at you, look at your mom, look at your arms. This is a beast over here.
Yeah. Can't
And-
outpower me.
And I can't help but notice the shirt that you're wearing. You're a big X-Men fan?
Huge X-Men fan.
I feel you on that because I like them too.
I think they've got a new show coming out, X-Men 97. Should be coming out maybe by the end of the year. It looks pretty dope.
Ooh, I can't wait to see that.
Mhm.
Oh, Eric Montgomery chimed in. He said, "Sup, Brandon Valor, aka top flight cameraman of the world. Craig shit. Not just the city, but the world."
What's up, man? Great to hear from you. Thanks for joining us at the Nice Guy Andy podcast.
That's right. Oh,
I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I have technical difficulties on here. That's why I've been like sitting back here looking at my phone. So
yeah.
the Facebook just kind of tried to screw us again, but I fixed it. So
Facebook's weird sometimes, you know. They're supposed to help you, but for some they try to screw you over.
I mean, I guess so many people on there spamming that it's like when like I have a legit thing going on here and I try to share my show to the groups and stuff, and then they blocked me from sharing my show for like 6 weeks. I mean, like not 6 weeks, but 6 days.
That's crazy.
And then I had to fix it. I had to prove that I was who I was, and I pay them like I'm subscribed to them now just to be verified. Yeah. I pay them like $15 a month, and they still screwing with me. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, leave me alone. I'm giving you like $15 a month. I don't know. Facebook.
I don't understand them.
Facebook is nuts, man. I swear, they just.
Hey, Chris Blaze, Corey challenges you when it gets Mickey Mouse.
And first off, Corey, it's not Blaze, it's Blade. Get it right. And you spelled Chris Columbus with one S. It's two S.
Hey, what's up, John Gilbert? We got the man, the myth, the legend, Big John Gilbert in the comments.
Big John.
Hey, he's someone that you might be eyeing up to.
Big John?
Yep, Big John Gilbert.
Did you see him throw that fucking guy across the ring? He threw Brandon Wolf across the ring.
Sounds like he needs to be my new tag team partner.
Yeah,
I need to fight with this man.
He picked up Brandon and threw him all the way across the ring in that battle royal.
Damn.
Come on, Andy. Eric's calling you out. He said he's really looking at naughty pics of Lita.
Yeah,
hey,
right.
I could actually see that. He actually just put up a picture of Lita without her top.
No, I wish I was. I wish I was doing that and not messing with Facebook, acting stupid.
Facebook's dumb.
Brandon, I got another question for you.
What's up, man?
So like you said, you grew up in like the 80s, like the wrestling era. Who was like your favorite, probably female wrestler? Like mine, like my childhood crush was Trish Stratus back in the day in her prime. So.
Oh man, that's hard to say. I might be a Lita guy. I love extreme stuff. Like I was always a skateboarder, a skater, that sort of stuff. So like the baggy pants did it for me. I like Daredevil stuff. I love the Hardy Boys growing up. Seeing the Swanton and the Will o' the Wisp and the Whisper in the Wind, all those cool moves. So I love the death-defying style. So Lita was a perfect 10, but then she would go out there and do moonsaults and Hurricane Ranas. Even back when she was like with S.A. Rios or in ECW. She was awesome. So, yeah, Lita was my girl.
Hell yeah. Oh, look, Sean Johnson inside the house. He said, "What's up, guys?"
What's up, Sean?
What's up, Sean? This damn tablet. It's logging us out. Of course.
Sean, take the night off. He must have had something lined up.
He getting that
Brandon,
Wink,
protein.
wink, nudge, nudge, Sean.
Brandon, you went to say something when I was correcting Corey about my name, and you went to say something, but you didn't finish.
Oh, we got Bobby Blade watching.
I was going to say you better go, lay the smack down on him. You've been going to wrestling school.
I hit him with the super kick to the jaw when he least expected it.
Mr. Bobby Blade, how you doing? Everybody, check out Bobby Blade's YouTube channel.
Damn straight.
Go over there and subscribe. Subscribe to the Nice Guy Andy podcast, too.
Damn straight. Subscribe to the Nice Game Podcast. Because, guys, without you, we can't do this. It's only $5.
Facebook, we have $5 subscriptions on there, guys. We give you a lot for free, so you can help us out a little bit.
Sean Johns over here, he said, "Cookie dough Milky Way is delicious." Random, but
That's very random.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue with him. Sounds pretty good to me.
oh, look at this. Bobby Blade said, "What's up, y'all? Thanks for the plug, Andy." Always, buddy.
Always and
Bobby,
forever,
you're a
bro.
legend, always.
Bobby is a legend.
Shout out to Bobby Blade. He's going to be doing commentary for New South Pro Wrestling coming up pretty soon.
This
Oh,
Sunday.
yeah, he
Sunday.
is.
It's this
Yeah.
Sunday.
This Sunday,
We
yeah.
we brung him out of retirement. We get the credit for that.
He's great, though.
You all have
He
the
always had the
okay.
gift of gab.
Yeah, he was sitting at home not doing nothing, and we invited him on the podcast, and now he's back commentating. So
And I just want to, and guys, all the fans watching, I just want to go back on what Johnny said. I mean, and every time I'm on the show, whether it's at a live show on here, I will say thank you all, because, like, every week we could not do this if it wasn't for you guys. So keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing, because like there's so many people to thank. Like I said, there's too many. But
Give us some money.
That's right.
But thank you all, because without you all, we could not
And it's
continue
cheap.
doing what we're doing.
Help out with the podcast. It's cheap. $5.
We're cheap sluts.
We are.
Just spend $5 on it.
We are very cheap, guys. If you guys give us the $5 subscription every month, we will definitely shout you out and tell everybody that you guys are the reason why the podcast is going. I want to need about 200 subscribers, guys, and we get 200 subscribers, this podcast will never end.
That's right.
As long as you guys keep giving the little $5 a month, so it'd be awesome. But
Hey,
yeah.
Sean said, "Headshot."
What's up, Hot Shot?
But yeah, Brandon Valor, you mentioned about your favorite show being X-Men.
Yeah, always grew up loving the X-Men, and so lately the gear is inspired by Wolverine. You know, Hugh Jackman.
I love that.
I love that jacket you have. That fucking leather.
I mean,
jacket,
look at it.
That that leather jacket you have is awesome.
That is an awesome jacket.
Got the
Hell
name
yeah.
on it.
You
Got
could
your name
definitely
on
see the
back
logo.
of it.
It stands out in a locker room being neon yellow like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it also, you can see the influence that Logan has on you.
Man, I love this Jamie Hayter. Look, she's freaking awesome, ain't she?
Oh, she's great.
She's a fucking great fucking wrestler.
She's definitely great.
I'm so glad they put the belt on her, because they just kind of brung her to the forefront. Like, you know, Britt Baker's great too, but she don't really need the belt, man. She's so over already.
That's true. But you know, that jacket, it really pops on you.
It does, man. It does.
Well,
Hey,
Negative, Sean.
I'm telling you right now. Hiya, pal.
Negative.
But yeah, I'm telling you right now, you impressed us Saturday night at EWA. Andy couldn't even believe it. So as soon as he saw you hit that knee, he's like, Brandon Valor can fucking wrestle, can he?
Oh, well, yeah. I loved I loved seeing you wrestle. I was like when you told me you was a wrestler, I was so like excited about seeing you wrestle at some point. And then you was at the EWA the first show down there, the Royal Rumble. And what about that show, man? That show was freaking awesome, wasn't it?
I was off the hook. You know, just for a debut, I was loving it. We had a great set out there. Had a great crowd that showed up.
Adrian and Ben Sharon and all those guys that are helping out down there, they know how to throw on a show. They know,
Damn straight.
they know how to put on a show. Adrian's so impressed. He's such a boss, man. He impresses me so much with the way he just like. I mean, he was a wrestler, and now he still is a wrestler, but he just decided that he wanted to be a promoter and put the hell of a show on.
Yeah, 5 years in to tackle trying to run your own promotion
Well, look at
and
this.
put that whole thing together. It was a heck of an accomplishment.
We got some on YouTube. They just said, "Hey boys, Richmond, Kentucky in the house. Nice work, guys."
Hey, what's up, Richmond?
And Corey,
That's,
thank you.
Richmond, Kentucky, baby.
That's
BKU Colonels.
yeah, your
Actually, Waco, but-
boy Chris Blades. His parents pretty much run the place down there, don't they, Chris?
Yeah,
Right on.
that's what he says.
And I'm a local celebrity down there. Everybody pretty much knows me.
Everybody knows Chris in Richmond. You ought to start a wrestling company down there.
Negative.
That's your own
Nah.
promotion down there, man.
Why not?
I mean, if I had the money, I would. But
Yeah.
So.
That's true.
Maybe one day.
Yeah,
Someday.
someday.
But Johnny, you brought up about talking about Brandon at EWA and Adrian and how he's just good at promoting. Man, he's been in the game 5 years, and look at him now, already promoting.
And he's already got someone wanting to fight him. John Gilbert said, "I want a match with Brandon."
Oh, yeah, bring it on. I'll fight anybody. I'm not scared.
Me
That's
too. When I
right.
get my training, I'll go against you. So
Hell yeah, heck yeah.
Except
Let's
Chris.
do it.
So
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Gilbert wants to take on him?
Yeah, he wants to take. He wants to take on Brandon.
Hook up with John because he'll fucking take you down to Texas.
Yep.
He
No,
will.
really, he's been taking like a bunch of Kentucky guys down to Texas and wrestling. They go down to and
That sounds fun,
every
man.
couple weeks, man. Get a hold of
I'm
hook
sure
up
you-
with Big John, man.
I'm sure
That's
you can
right.
meet some awesome luchadors down there too, you know?
It's awesome, man. Like Big John's cool, man. He's a really cool guy. He really is. He'll beat the shit out of you, but he's cool.
Andy Corey wants to know how can he send us money to or send you money for the podcast.
Who?
Corey, his neighbor, the one that commented in the comments.
He can go onto the Facebook page and subscribe to our Facebook, and it's $5 a month as a subscription, and it'll help out big time. But he can he wants to if he wants to Venmo us, he can do that too.
Yep,
Or
that's
he can
true.
send stars.
He can also
He can get on there
pay.
and send stars too.
He can also pay us through a messenger too, Facebook Pay,
Yeah.
because that's how I paid Zodiac for his license plate. But yeah, Sean would love to see you versus John Gilbert.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be a damn good match. Hey, I can also see you versus Kellen Craven.
So who you taking on Friday? Up at the XCW?
XCF Legendary.
XCF.
Yeah. So
XCF
this is
Legendary.
our event to benefit the Larry D and his family after they had a house fire and everything. So all the proceeds are going to help them out. He's been a good brother to a lot of us in the wrestling business. So my match is a triple threat match, and I'm fighting Alex Cross and Jason Grimes.
Have you ever
Oh, that's gonna be
have you
great.
studied down in his school?
What's that?
Have you studied down at Legends School down there?
Yeah, so I went down there a couple of times in order to get ready for my re-debut in November. So I went down there and trained with him a couple
So
times.
he's trained with them. Their school is awesome, ain't it?
It is, right. It's great. Yeah. Shout out to, Kellen Craven, Brandon Taggart, even Alexis Littlefoot. I got in the ring with her.
I
while
mean,
was down there.
she gets better every time you watch her.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Like those guys are training her. Like, man, when she goes down there and trains, like every time she comes out of that training, she's just getting better and better and better. Like she's looking so good in that ring.
She's got star written all over her.
She is a star, man. She's already like this. Like she's not even been in what, a year or two.
Nope.
Well, she's only been in like a year maybe, and she's already up at Derby
City Wrestling.
Derby City Wrestling already
And
on
she got a
TV already.
championship.
I-
And she's undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated, got a championship belt, and just making
And she's
waves
one of Larry
everywhere.
D's kids.
And all the wrestlers know her. I think she's had pictures with Jade Cargill and all
Yes.
that. Like
She's also had her merch worn by Sasha Banks.
yeah.
And Sean said 747 and Brandon Valor is a great match anywhere in the country. That's true. That's a market
Oh,
match
yeah.
right
Brandon,
there.
I want to see you wrestle for New South. That's who I want to see you wrestle for.
Thanks, man. That's the plan. They've got a really great locker room of guys in there. I see Dustin Jackson. I see Marty Clay. Colorblind. There's so many Berto and Hippo.
Yep,
I want to
Berto and
I want to
Hippo.
get in the ring with Berto. Man, there's so many great guys there.
What about Misery?
Misery kind of scares me a little bit. I'm gonna be honest.
That's true. Guys like him, they're scary, but
He looks like he might break me in half.
I mean,
just being honest.
you might be able to have the advantage though. You're smaller, you're speedier.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
That's
so.
true.
I think I'd have to convince him to fight for me. You know what
That's
I mean?
true. That's smart.
Yeah.
Make him fight for you, then you never have to fight him.
That's the plan, anyway.
Because he'll believe that you're best friends.
Yeah. I'll convince Misery to attack Berto and Hippo on my behalf.
That's true. Then again, Berto was saved by him, so that might be hard.
Yeah, it's probably not happening.
Because what we saw a couple weeks ago, it seems like they became best friends.
I know. I thought that was that caught me off guard, and then I was laughing. I was laughing, but it was pretty funny.
It was.
Yeah.
And you also got to watch out for that Hippo because Berto tends to use it.
Yeah, he uses it as a distraction. So I think Berto fights dirty.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Just like Scott Diamond said, that Hippo needs to be banned from the ring.
Yep.
Because Berto uses it way too much.
He's a
I have a
menace.
suggestion, Brendan. How about when I get the proper training, once I start wrestling some of my matches, how about we have Chris Blade, the Southern Outlaw Chris Blade, and Brandon Valor as a tag team?
Sure, why not, man?
Right,
Yeah.
But what would your tag team name be?
right.
Blade and Valor. Dollar Shave Club.
Yes.
Is that taken?
I don't think that is.
I don't know, man.
Hey.
Blades of Valor.
Yeah,
That's-
that right there.
It sounds like a 90s action movie.
It does.
Or,
Hey.
or an ice skating movie.
Right.
Oh yeah, like the
Blades of
one
Valor.
with Will Ferrell and the guy
Yeah, Will Ferrell.
Blades of Glory, but yours is Blades of Valor.
Yep.
Right, that's what I was going to say. Or Blade and Valor.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what tag team name would be because man, looking at you, I think that when you start wrestling for New South, you got a whole lot of guys that you're going to be wrestling. Marty Clay, Mickey Midas,
Yeah, Mickey Midas.
possibly Omega as well.
Adrian.
Yeah, Adrian Alexander. You might be able to go for our title.
Absolutely. I mean, of course. I plan on being the champion.
That's right. Hey, that's what we love. We love confidence.
I'll put them all on notice. I'll win
Hey.
the tag titles by myself if I have to.
I bet you could. Look at John Gilbert.
Yeah.
John Gilbert carries Shane Ramones and Romines.
Yeah.
And if you and John Gilbert were to meet each other, I guarantee that's going to be a barn burning right there. 5-star match.
Tell them if they want to like send something. It's at nice podcast. Nice podcast. In Venmo.
Hey, you mean tell him?
What?
Corey, if
If you want to.
what is it
At
At
Venmo.
nice podcast.
Corey, if you want to send something on Venmo, it's at Nice Podcast.
Guys, if everybody wants to donate any money to the podcast, it's Venmo. We don't have Cash App. It's at Nice Podcast. So
That's right.
All one word. So
That's right.
we do appreciate everybody. If everybody would, kind of help us out because the bills aren't free around here, and we do give away the show for free, and everybody can watch it anytime on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Twitch is weird sometimes because
He's always up to us.
we're not on Twitch right now, but we appreciate it.
That's right.
Thank you very much. What's
Did
his
you just
name?
kick out of a Canadian destroyer?
Corey Dwayne Warwick.
I think so.
Oh, Shane Remind said, John Gilbert, oh, you're alive. You better be training. I'm not going to carry you again. Oh, man. We got tag team partners dispute right here. Shane Reminds. That's his tag team partner in Allied Pro Wrestling.
Oh, he's calling him out, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, he is. He's saying that John Gilbert left him high and dry last Saturday. But John Gilbert was doing things in Texas, networking.
So Brandon, so you said that you're going to be wrestling on the 29th at the Legends Never Die thing in Cynthiana. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so I'm going to be in the Battle Royal in that one as well. And, that's another benefit that's going out to help out Larry D and his family. But, Generation Next, we've got people from New South out there. It's like a melting pot of wrestlers, right? So, everybody wants to show up and show out in that Battle Royal. I mean, who wouldn't want to win on a show like
Exactly.
that? You know what I mean? So, I think I'll win that one too.
I have a feeling that you're going to win that one.
Yeah.
I mean, look at you.
Battle
You're
Royals,
a star.
Battle Royals are my specialty, baby.
Exactly. You almost had the EWA won if Omega was not there.
Yeah. Totally would have thrown Omega
Yeah.
out. Right?
I mean, he was using Brandon Wolf to try and knock you down.
He doesn't hit really, really hard or anything. No.
Hey, according to him though, Marty Clay hit pretty hard.
Yeah, that's a pretty big boy too.
That's gonna be a great match. You versus Marty Clay.
It'll happen one day.
Johnny, you was talking about Shane and Big John for tag team partners going at it. There's actually a match on the show I was talking about on the 29th. Kellen and his former tag team partner Jake Torrance, who went by the Outlasts. I don't know if you ever heard of them. Jake challenged Kellen for his Desire Pro Wrestling Championship. So
That's right.
Excellent. That'll be
Yeah.
really good. Kellen's great, man.
He is.
He's really impressive in the ring.
That's right. Kellen Craven is.
Yeah.
You versus Kellen Craven would be a money match.
I want to see that.
I think that might happen one day too.
That'd be great.
I'd fight him.
Hell, you versus Larry D would be a great one too.
Yeah, oof, that's a tall task.
Right.
That'd be a fight.
I've seen how hard he hits.
Yes, I've seen it
too.
Especially when he hits you with that best hand inside the house.
Best hand in the house, baby.
His wife is gonna hit me with that. She said that she was taking over the show, that she was gonna be the new podcast co-host, and she balled up her fist and was thinking about just hit me and lay me out.
You
I was like, please don't.
You shouldn't have been talking trash.
Hey, I have to get my licks in.
I'm her biggest fan.
Yeah, he's her biggest fan.
Yeah.
But I caught him hugging up with Alexis Littlefoot.
Oh.
Which is her rival. So
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. See, he's not defending himself, is he?
I mean, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go come out and say it. Yeah, I mean, I did, but we all make mistakes, and it is what it is. It happened.
Make
It's done and over with.
Was it a
is what
mistake,
it
Chris,
is.
or were you enjoying the hug with the little chocolate thing?
Max was like, make sure you buy something from Alexis or get a picture with her, get her name out there. So
Oh, so you did it because Max, and not because you like her.
I think you're sweet on her.
I like her as a wrestler and just from a fan perspective. I don't like her like that.
All right.
Even though she is pretty, I'll give her that.
Oh,
so.
she's beautiful. She ain't pretty. She's beautiful.
You're breaking her heart, man. Right
Yeah,
here, live
I
on
know,
the
right? She's
live
not
on
gonna.
the air. You're
She's
breaking
not gonna
her
be able to
heart.
handle
Yeah.
it. Chris
Yeah.
Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
You should have told her that you like her. You might have got somewhere, but now you blew it.
Yeah.
I always say Bianca is a pretty little chocolate thing. Bianca Belair, because she is. So
Yeah.
But she's not not a rising star like Alexis Littlefoot.
right.
Alexis Littlefoot is Larry D's child.
We got the Elite out there right now.
Yep.
I guess CM Punk's coming back at some point, ain't he?
Yep.
That's what the rumors are saying, right? They're talking about like maybe giving him his own different show to work on.
Yeah, they're gonna
too.
like split up the roster and give him a Saturday night show. I don't think a wrestling show on Saturday night can work because all the pay-per-views and everything comes on Saturday nights. I don't think that would work. Like
That's
they
true.
just need to like make Rampage. Why didn't they just make Rampage another hour on Friday night?
Make
Yeah.
it
Damn
make it
straight.
another hour and then book some killer matches on.
Oh, speaking of which, look at Kenny Omega's shirt. Toriyama,
Toriyama.
the creator of DBZ.
Brandon, so you talked about how you grew up liking like the Hardy Boys and Lita, just their looks. What'd you think about Jeff returning last week to help his brother Matt?
I mean, it's always great to see Jeff Hardy come back. I hope he's in a good headspace and everything because of the troubles he was having before he left. But I know what it's like to love pro wrestling, and that's all you think about is wanting to get back in that ring.
Yeah.
So I totally know where he's coming from.
So you took a while off. Well, how long did you take off?
So I stopped wrestling around 2010, and then came back in 2022.
So 10 years.
Yeah.
Why did you wait so long? Like what happened that you was like, man, I can't do this no more? Was it personal? Was it like physical? What was it?
It was kind of financial, like I was wrestling every weekend. I called myself a weekend warrior. I was working
Yeah.
for a couple different companies in different states and stuff. And I just wasn't selling a lot of merchandise, wasn't making a lot of money. And at the time I was waiting tables, just
Yeah.
trying to get by, right?
Yeah.
And so like if you go wait tables and you make $200 on a Friday or Saturday, but you
Oh
go,
yeah, Friday and Saturday nights are the best times.
you
I
go-
was a bartender for 3 years. I understand that. I
Yeah.
loved being a bartender.
Yeah.
That's why I do this now is because COVID fucked my bartending job up, and then I could have went back, but when COVID kicked in, I was running food outside, like onto the and I was like, I can't do this, man. I'm a bartender. This is my show. That's like bartending was my show. Like I could put on a show. I make the drinks, talk to the people, put on a show. People come to watch me like bullshit with them and just like and sit at the bar and like and I would serve food and drinks and stuff. And then like COVID kicked in and I wasn't doing that no more. Like it just put me in a big deep depression.
I know the
That's
feeling,
true.
man.
It put me in a big deep depression, and so I was like, I got to do something to entertain people. So I was like, I'd already ordered some podcast equipment. It took me like, and when COVID kicked in, I'd already ordered some podcast equipment because I was just running food outside, and I was like, I had a little money left over from bartending, and I was like, I'm gonna order some podcast equipment. So I ordered the podcast equipment, and then I just started doing this, and and when I was in college, I was doing Jacob Ennis. He does movies now. He does horror movies, independent horror movies. Me and him had back then it was called public access show. We had a public access show, and we loved doing that. That's like Tom Green started doing public access. So we loved doing that. We had probably 5 or 6, 8 episodes, probably 8 episodes. And then we, things happen, people grow older, and we was in college together and broadcasting school. And so we decided, and I was like, I always had the itch for doing something different, and I had a girlfriend at the time, and me and her broke up, and I just like, fuck it, I'm just going to go went and got a construction job. So I started doing a construction job, and then I got a job at UPS, and then that turned into family and all that stuff. And I always wanted to do this. So I understand, like, you always have that passion to do something.
Yeah.
Like podcasting and wrestling and podcast. I'm a big fan of podcasting. I mean, of wrestling, but the whole podcast show, like public access, the show is my thing. You know, these
Yeah.
guys like Johnny. It's the wrestling, the biggest part of that brung him to this. I wanted to do a podcast, so then I threw the two together.
Yeah.
It's like threw the love of wrestling in with the love of podcasting, and I didn't know what to do without a fucking podcast. I trained myself, and so I understand how you feel about like being out of something that you love for a long time,
Yeah.
and then trying to get right back into it. So what made you decide to like, I got to get back in this?
Let's see. Well, time keeps ticking for everybody, right? And I'm 38 years old.
You don't look 38 at all. I swear you don't. I swear you don't look 38. I'm 49 and I look every fucking bit, every day of it. You don't look like you're 38. You remind
You
me
look
of maybe
20.
maybe 30, maybe
yeah.
30, but like not 38. You're pushing 40.
What the
I would not expect that at all. You got a family, kids?
No kids, no. I'm single, so like right now is a perfect time to dedicate myself to pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Being out on the road every weekend, going to shows, staying late to put
Yeah.
up the ring is like, I got nothing holding me back.
Exactly.
And I
You
was
got a pretty good day job. You don't have to tell me what it is, but
yeah. I mean, I work at UK, so
Yeah.
it's like solid benefits, solid, the day job's
and
going
then
to
you
be
got the
there.
weekends off.
And the weekends are off, right?
Yeah,
So I've been grinding it out, being on the camera, doing putting up rings,
Yeah.
practicing. So it's like I'm not necessarily paying for training, but I'm kind of exchanging my services.
So you
for
do
it.
that? You go down? You go other places other than New South and play and put in the like
Yeah.
Yeah.
do recording and stuff there too?
So New South and at Derby City on Sunday, I was on the camera there.
Really? That's
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
That's
so,
awesome.
So Tony Presley said that they needed an extra cameraman, and I've been filming for him for the last year. And so
Yeah.
he hooked it up, and I got in there with the TV station that runs up there, and they put me up in a 20-foot scissor lift with a $60,000 TV camera. It's got like bicycle type handles on it. You know what I
Really?
mean?
Hell yeah.
Real big ones. And I was one of 5 people pointed at their ring. And so the producer is telling me when to film what.
Yeah,
And
that's
he's
awesome.
bouncing back and forth between us all.
That's cool.
That is
man.
awesome.
That is cool
Yeah.
as shit.
It was.
They know
wild.
you're a wrestler too down there.
Yeah. I told them I was a wrestler. It's like I've got film experience. I'm a videographer for UK, but I said I also have been a pro wrestler for 6 years.
So you do videography for UK.
I do. Yeah.
What do you do over there?
So we study Alzheimer's, and I've been helping them put together like an educational series for people with memory trouble.
Okay, cool.
Like stuff like how to cook, or gardening, or doing yoga.
So you're pretty much in the same genre as we are here, like
Yeah.
as far as like broadcasting and doing like so you're probably doing documentaries and stuff like that.
Yeah. And so, when I'm not at my day job, I'm trying to film or be a wrestler, and I want to
Yeah.
make content based around pro wrestling, because I go to all these shows and I meet so many interesting people, wrestlers, referees, just cameramen, just so many interesting people. And they all come together, they make this really cool show happen, and then everybody scatters.
It's
and
like
goes
a
away.
it's like a I always say that it's kind of like a play, like a man's kind of play,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like a man soap opera.
Yeah, like a play, but like in the independents, like on TV, it's a TV show. But in the independents, it's more like a play, like going to the opera house to watch a play that was on Broadway or whatever, a run of that. It's like a play that like changes all the time, and it's
And
like
it's so much more
so,
personal.
So much stuff's involved in it. There's drama, comedy, improv,
Horror.
Yeah.
there's there's production, and then we got us coming over we're going to the shows and doing stuff, and and the guys that do this wrestling thing, like they're so nice. Like everybody's so nice. You got these big freaking guys that you think that would just like hammer your fucking head to the ground, or just like think, hey, you could say something to them and they would just be like, who are you? But nah, man, when you go like to these shows and you're part of the product, we get to go backstage and stuff a lot, and the guys are just like terribly awesome. and you're backstage of these things too.
Yes, he is.
Like-
Yeah, like I can tell you working like a 9-to-5 job and then working as a pro wrestler or being on the crew at a pro wrestling show. The big difference between that and my 9-to-5 job is when I leave, people just say bye at the
Yeah.
9-to-5 job. But when you leave a pro wrestling show, you got people coming up and handshaking you, hugging you,
Yeah.
saying, "I can't wait to see you next time, a month from now, or whenever."
Act
it
like
might
they don't
be."
want you to leave.
And there's such a respect and a brotherhood amongst wrestlers, amongst people, staff in the back, and amongst the fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
shout
out to you guys because you all hung around at EWA and helped take the ring down, helped
Damn
us
straight.
load up some gear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we all got to come together to make these shows happen. And I have
Yeah,
so much
because there's
respect.
hardly any money in it, guys.
Yeah.
If you are out there and you are a wrestling fan, try to support your local independent wrestlers as much as you can. Give a little bit of cash and a little bit of money to the wrestlers whenever you can. Especially if you're going up there, man. They got a T-shirt. Buy a T-shirt. Buy at the concession stand. Buy the concessions. Buy the T-shirt. If they got a YouTube channel, go over there and just push subscribe. Go to the Facebook, follow these guys.
Every bit counts.
Content, when they get content, comment on their stuff, likes, shares. Just if everybody in the pro wrestling fandom would give as much as these guys give, because they give their hearts, mind, their soul, and their
body.
and their body, and they're just putting their lives on the line all the time, and as much as you can do is give them a freaking buy a T-shirt from them, or give them a $5 subscription to their subscription or something
Yeah.
I mean, please, guys,
Every
help
bit
these
counts.
guys out, because Kentucky wrestling and the surrounding states, man, we got some great wrestling programs like New South Wrestling, Derby City Wrestling now.
XCF.
That's a big company, but XCF,
Allied Pro Wrestling.
Generation Next.
Generation
Very
Next
decent.
Pro
Yep.
Wrestling. Those guys got a school down there that they teach these wrestling guys, and they don't frickin' charge hardly anything. When they told me what the price was, and I'm not going to tell you the price. I'm going to let them tell you the price. But go down there, check them out. If you want to know the price, give them a call, give them a message on Facebook, because those guys are doing this practically for free. I don't know how they're making any money asking the price that they're asking, because I don't think they're doing it for money. I think they're doing it for the love of the business, the love, the camaraderie of who everybody that's involved, and Brandon's he's doing this for the love of it. You ain't making any money off this, and we're not making any money off this.
Same.
It's all a tight-knit community, and when you go and you watch one of these indie pro wrestling shows and there's maybe 20 people in the crowd, the two guys in that ring, they want this.
Yeah.
They've got something to prove, because they're going out there and beating each other up in front of nobody. And I'm not saying, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody, you got to earn your stripes.
That's right.
So it's like Fight Club, man. You got to fight.
You got the legend Arn Anderson in the corner for Warlow over here. Looks like.
Brandon, back to what you were saying, that goes hand in hand, that we're all a family regardless. And when it comes to wrestling, we're all one big family. So
Absolutely, man.
And everybody that's out here, we're all big nerds. We like
Damn
Marvel
straight.
movies. We like Dungeons and Dragons.
You
We
damn
like
straight.
all of us like the same stuff, man. We support each other. We go
Hey.
to these comic little comic shows, and they have a wrestler there. They have all kinds of comics, and they have it's just so much fun to be involved in that kind of stuff.
And shout out to Max Sled, who, without us asking, well, we did ask and pester him a little bit, but out of the kindness of his heart, he did come on to the show
Oh my
this
God.
past Saturday.
He was at the live, and he came over and talked to us, man. I went over there and I talked to him. He really didn't want to do it, and then I talked to him for a few minutes, and then I think that me and him kind of figured out who we were, and he figured out that I'm not trying to get anything out of anybody. Just want to have. I'm probably the biggest fucking Max Sled fan there ever was.
yes, Max.
Max. I love that guy, man. I think he's this comic genius. I think
cracks me up.
he's so funny, dude, and he's down there training those guys, man. And and then they do the podcast, and their own podcast, and I listen to that. I'm a big fan. I'm a biggest Max fan there is.
Yeah,
Damn
it's
straight.
me, Max, and Mike, right? Larry.
Yep.
Me, Max, and a Mike, yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, I don't think they've done any new episodes lately, but I talked to Max, and he said that they do have some equipment now, and that they are going to be redoing, like not redoing, but continuing to do the podcast. So just keep an eye out for me, Max, and Mike, and they'll be coming to you on Spotify. I think they're on Spotify. I think.
Yeah,
right?
they're on Spotify.
And another thing,
We're on Spotify too. So.
and also
Damn straight.
and also prayers for Larry's dad. I hope he recovers.
Oh yeah, prayers for Larry's dad,
Yeah.
and a Paige is coming on when next week.
Hell yes, she is.
Paige,
April 27th.
man, Paige is awesome. I didn't know Paige, and I didn't know what to expect when she came on, but like when she came on, she sat down in that chair and she had her daughter with her, and she just blew us away, man. She's just so funny. She's so interesting. She's into ghost hunting and
Okay,
like
right
yeah,
on.
and she's into astrology and like crystals and all
and
that
she's
stuff.
in tune spiritually.
Yeah, so we have Priscilla, she's been on the show before too. She's an astrologist. She's a card reader. She's an astrologist, and she's going to be on with Paige. So that's going to be very interesting.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. You into anything like that? Like what else do you do? I know you do wrestling. You like X-Men. What else you do? You do Dungeons and Dragons, anything like that?
You do Dragon Ball Z stuff like that.
So I play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm
me
big,
too.
Big into. I play a lot of PC games. So I've got hundreds and thousands of games on Steam. I've got a Steam Deck. The little mobile PC
yeah,
type
yeah.
of thing. There's a new Zelda game coming out here in a few weeks. We're pretty hyped for.
Have you played the new
That's gonna be great.
2K23 yet?
I haven't. Have you?
I got the deluxe. So
You got it. Pretty good.
Bro, look, I got the new Xbox. I know you said you're a PC guy. I got the new
Yeah.
Series Xbox, bro, and the graphics are like legit. Like they're out the roof.
Yeah. How's the
Yes.
general manager mode? Have
GM
you
mode,
tried it yet?
GM mode is better than the last one, and the My Rise is like way better than the last one. And then you get the showcase, which showcases John Cena because of course he's the cover.
We really ought to get all you guys. Like we have a Twitch channel. We ought to really get all you guys like playing that on the Twitch channel.
That's
Right
true.
on, that'd be fun.
WT2K23.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
You could squash me in that game, but I'll play
No,
it.
no, you'll squash him.
Yeah. Who would your tag team partner be in 2K or whatever?
Male or female?
We'll say male. Let's say you're going for the tag titles. You're gonna go fight the Usos. Who's your tag
Ooh,
partner?
Usos. Shoot.
Or I guess it's KO and Sami
Let's
Zayn.
see,
now,
let's see,
isn't it?
let's see, let's see,
Yep.
let's see. Probably Seth Rollins would be one, and probably Roman Reigns.
Seth Rollins. Okay, so you're the third
Because-
man in the
because-
Shield now, aren't
No,
you?
because Roman Reigns is a 99 overall in that game. So
Yeah.
That's true. All right, you're picking with the numbers. I would have to go with Finn Balor. I like his vibe.
Yeah.
Hell
Plus,
yeah.
he's the demon.
Yep.
Do his points go up when he goes into demon form?
Yep.
Does that happen?
Yes, he basically becomes invulnerable to
You
everything.
don't have the game yet?
Not yet. No.
No, I don't do gaming very much at all. These guys are Johnny's into it deep.
Damn straight I am. And I'm proud of it and I don't care who gets mad
Well,
about
maybe
it.
we'll
pretty
sign
sure-
you into the the Twitch and you can start running the Twitch
Yep.
channel over there when you're playing.
Hell
I feel like you need a T-shirt that says "damn straight." Like that's your catchphrase.
Damn
Yep.
straight.
Kind of like like Farouk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sort of, damn.
my catchphrase.
Yep, he says,
Go ahead.
Damn.
damn!
Straight.
Straight.
And Sean's here, he's like, don't skin that into my ear.
Brandon. So mine is it is what it is and it was what it was. So
It is what it is. Was what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, my tactic part would have to be Damian Priest.
Damian Priest. All
Get
right.
the big man to be my backup, my muscle, my diesel,
That's a
Are you,
good
who
idea.
are you playing as? Your own character?
my
or-
own character.
Your own character, of course. Yeah.
Superfly.
So what's your finishing move on this character?
My finishing move would have to be a spine buster.
Spinebuster. Okay.
The
So-
way Arn Anderson used to do it.
Now, Arn Anderson's a legend, dude. Like, he's one of my favorite
Oh,
wrestlers
yeah.
of all time.
Oh, breaking news. Max said just popped in.
Oh.
Legends never die.
Max.
Max, 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 Max,
Max.
April 29th.
April 29th, we're having Legends Never Die down in Cynthiana at the, is it the Cynthiana
City Hall.
City
Gym.
Hall Gym? Guys, get down there April 29th. I think the doors open at what?
Oh,
6:30, 6 something like that.
something like that. Yep.
If you have a front row seat, I think you get in early.
Yeah. Guys, we're going to be down there doing the pre-show, guys. We're going to hopefully we have interviews with a bunch of the wrestlers down there. The Nice Guy Indie Podcast Championship will be online. We have Mickey Midas going up against Adrian Alexander. And we may have a new champion. Never know. Mickey Midas is quite the wrestler, and Adrian, Adrian always can pull. He'll probably have Scott Diamond in his corner, I'm sure, but he can. He loves being our champ. So you never can count out.
I wouldn't
Adrian.
sleep on him either.
No, you can't sleep on Adrian. Adrian's awesome. He's great in the ring, and legends never die down there, guys. It's going to be incredible. A bunch of the local. Independent wrestling organizations have got together to come together to do this tribute show for Larry D and his family. Not just for Larry D, guys. It's for his whole family. It's for his wife, Paige, which is an incredibly talented wrestler in her own right. Guys, y'all got to get down there, and it's just going to be incredible.
Megan Nicole Zard, thank you for watching. And Max
Megan
said,
Nicole, we got to get her on. We got to get her on the show at some point.
Max said, front row is sold out. Still got floor seats for $20 and $50 for general admission bleachers. Hey, not bad, Max.
Thanks, Max, for tuning in, guys. Max is he's becoming a fan of us. He's starting to watch us more. And, we appreciate you, Max. We do. And I can't wait to get you in the seat in here, and we will have a great time.
And
that's right.
Since Max has tuned in, I just want to say a little thing. He's having a match. It's him. It's him,
is.
Lotus, and of course Paige. Versus Franklin Benjamin.
I think that's the match that I'm looking for the most. Just putting those three together. We've had Lotus on the podcast. We've had Paige on the podcast, and soon we had Max do one of our lives. So and then Franklin Bernard is just insanely crazy. And who else? Who's his tag team partners?
I'm trying to remember.
Who?
I'm trying to remember.
Oh.
He's got another partner besides.
He's got two partners.
Yep, two partners.
Well, we don't care because they're not going to lose anyway. So
Franklin Bernard's a cheater anyway.
They're Max and his crew are the stars anyway.
Franklin Bernard got jealous of Fandio the whole time. He was like, he stole my move. No, Franklin, your move has been done by Val Venus, Rick Rude, all that. And you can't blame Fandio for trying to trust his hips. Pirates on, he said, hey, broski, you come down tomorrow, you can't make it by 25th Midget Wrestling.
Where at? In Florida?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can make it by the 25th, but...
He said, I knew you needed a good reason. That's why. That's why he said midget wrestling.
Can't beat some good midget wrestling.
I'll tell you what, though. I can't wait to see this man over here at New South wrestling.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be down there. You're gonna be down there in Legendaries, right?
Yep.
Legends never die.
So I'm doing an XCF Legendary this week, and then Legends Never Die Generation Next week.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
And the first time we met you was actually at New South, Wilmore, Kentucky. Before that, we always saw you at the New South. You barely talked to us during that time.
How'd you get hooked up with the Anthony? Because Anthony's an amazing person himself. How'd you get hooked up with Anthony?
So my good friend Aaron Rose, also known as Tiny, has been an announcer in and around Kentucky for a long time.
He's a legend.
And he was doing shows back when I first did my run. And so I don't know if he's been doing it the entire time, but, I mean, he's been hitting the road at all these different indie places. And when I got back into it, he said, hey, would you like to come run camera for us over here?
Hell yeah.
And so I go way back with him, and now it's cool. Like he was at Derby City with me. He was at EWA, in the announce booth.
So was Tiny over there announcing at Derby City?
No. He was
No,
just
Tiny
hanging
was
out.
there with him.
Yeah. Him and Tony were up there just showing some support.
Yeah, we want to try to get up there and get some support for those guys too, because they're doing a great thing for Louisville up there, and they're a big time people, and we'd like to get up there and do some stuff with those guys too. But we've been kind of busy with the indie shows, But,
I love the indie shows.
Yeah, we want to try to get up there and get involved with Derby City a little bit ourselves. So, Luchasaurus is back.
Yep, he came back a week ago.
Yeah, I guess he got the whole mask.
Well, I miss his black mask. This mask is now red.
The whole mask dilemma, like it.
You know what? I think they saw Brandon Valor, and that's why he got the spikes.
Yeah.
He's trying to steal Brandon Valor's ideal.
I do like that outfit on Luchasaurus with the shoulder pad. That's
I do too.
pretty dope.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks good.
Did you know he used to play on the show Big Brother?
I did not. No.
I didn't know that at all.
Oh,
I didn't
was he?
know that.
He was in wasn't he in WWE for a while?
I think so, but
He
NXT maybe.
never he never wore,
NXT, but he was blinking missing.
yeah, he didn't have a mask on.
At that time, no mask, so we can't really tell who it is. All we know is that he's in NXT, rested for him for a bit, gone. Now he's in AEW,
Look at this
starting
guy.
his shit.
This guy's crazy, man. MJF is just so entertaining, isn't he?
He cracks me up. He's one of my favorite people to watch nowadays.
He's a bum.
yeah.
He's a
He's a
bum.
fun.
You're a bum, Chris. That man right there is perfection in professional wrestling.
He's a damn
You
star.
know who I think should carry the belt
That's that.
on AEW? Either Darby or Daniel Bryan.
Negative.
Ooh.
Negative.
Daniel, what you
We've been in here 1 hour, guys. It's time to pay a few bills. Check out Royal Dark on Facebook, and they stay open from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning for all your internet gaming needs. And Royal Lex on Facebook. Check them out for all your internet gaming needs. Tell them Nice Guy Any Podcast sent you, and they will give you $5 in free pay.
That's right. You see the belts on this table? The man from Pakistan can get you a custom belt because he makes them from finely etched detailing and cowhide. Guys, either help Andy here or find Mom Jafar through Facebook, and he'll get you a good deal. Because let me tell you, you'll want your own custom championship belt.
He's already made belts for some of our friends, EWA, USWF, and TSW.
Yep.
To name a few where the belts are now. He made all these belts on the table. So check out Muhammad, and he's reliable. He's honest, and he will get you what you need. And
That's
check out Bucks of Muck Catering.
That's right.
These guys they're just cooking up the greatest food ever. They're the official caterer for New South Wrestling and Nice Guy Andy Podcast. So check them out. Give them a call. Tell them Nice Guy Andy Podcast sent you, and she'll make your event delicious.
Damn straight.
She will come down, and your event will be fun and delicious.
And her phone number is 859-866-8317. Hit her up because she's always looking for work and she's willing to travel.
And we want to shout out Chris Blade's mom and dad, because we want them to be sponsors of the podcast at some point because they're rich as fuck. Apparently, that's what I
Chris
heard.
put in a good word for us.
So put a good
Chris.
word in for us, Chris.
Chris put in a good word for us.
Yeah, pretty much, y'all. Basically, what Andy was saying.
We're just playing though, but we
No,
do
for real?
appreciate Chris Blake being on the podcast.
I mean, I was gonna tell him about my parents, but okay.
Oh yeah, go
You
ahead.
can.
But no, pretty much what he was saying is that where I live in Richmond, pretty much everybody knows my parents because, like he said, that they got a lot of money, and I'm not gonna go into any details, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. So
Yeah.
Oh, and Max,
Do not go to their house because they don't have their money at their house. Okay.
That's
The
right.
money's not at their house. The money's in the bank.
and Max said, a gimmick battle royal, Zodi versus Reverend Blake, Nate versus Brawler, 6-person tag, Alexis versus Maria, Torrance versus Craven, Taggart versus Dillinger. So many great matches. That's
All
true.
stars. All of those people are independent, local stars, guys. Go and support those guys. Buy their merch when you're down there. And all proceeds to the show goes to Larry D and his family. Not just Larry D, his whole family is going to be getting this money. His wife, which is a great wrestler herself, his kids. He's got a couple kids. And his kid will come and mow your yard if you...
That's true.
He's got his own
Carter's
little...
Cuts.
What is it?
Carter's Cuts.
Carter's Cuts. We want to shout out Carter's Cuts down in. I think he's in Georgetown now. He's cutting yards in Georgetown now. Carter's Cuts. Check him out on Facebook. I'll get a hold of Larry D. And Larry D has a Legends
Handyman and construction.
handyman and construction.
And a
That's
junk thing too.
yeah. So please support Larry in his time of need, and You know,
He's a great guy.
he's gave a lot to pro wrestling around here. So, and then and guys, there's one guy I want to shout out that just gives a lot, never gets too much recognition. Is Max Sled. Max Sled is always down there at Cynthiana trying to teach those kids how to wrestle. He has always been there for Larry D. He's got Larry D's back. He's always been there for Paige. I see him in all the shows. He is nothing but wrestling. He is so funny when he's in the ring. He's so funny on the mic. So shout out to Max Sled.
Damn straight.
Give him his flowers while he's still here, guys. Come on.
Damn straight. I mean, I gotta tell you, Brandon Valley.
What's up?
I can't wait to see you in that gimmick battle royal.
That ain't what your mama said.
Oh, Salah. If he keeps popping off at the mouth, I'm gonna be his dad. Damn straight.
Damn straight.
But you know what? I can't wait to see you inside battle royal because I have my monies on you to win.
Well, thank you, sir. Like I said, I have my eye on Berto and Hippo. I don't know why, but little stuffed animals just irritate me, so I'm gonna have to tear it in half.
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah,
beat the shit out
because-
of that hippo.
Yeah.
That's a foreign object too.
We're gonna have Berto and the hippo in the studio soon. Right?
Yeah, I'm trying to work on that. He hasn't
Yeah.
replied to me yet.
Yeah. So he's reached out to me a couple times wants to come on the show. So we'll get him in the podcast studio.
Right on.
Tomorrow night we're having Slime Bucci and Fake Gutter today. Fake Gutter is going to be in the studio. A couple local independent rap stars on the come up, guys.
That's true.
Do not miss this episode because these guys are going to be signing deals here soon, and they're going to be on the charts. So check them out. And that's all the little promos we got.
Exactly. But you know what? What are your interests, Brandon Valley? What interests you?
Wrestling.
I watch a lot of wrestling, to be honest.
So what do you like? Okay, so there's a lot of wrestling
Not
on
just
TV.
wrestling,
yeah.
What do you like? There's WWE, AEW, there's MLW, there's Impact. Like, do you watch it all, or is there something that you don't like, or is it just like we love wrestling? We love any kind of wrestling.
Yeah.
We even the bad shit we love. So tell us what you like about wrestling so much.
Let's see. So I really loved the NXT Black and Gold brand. I'm very much like a work rate type of guy. I love to see smaller, athletic, really technical matches. So people like Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa and Aleister Black. That's like my type of guys.
Yeah.
So after the NXT change up, AEW started really gaining prominence, and that's become my jam. I watch
AEW?
AEW, yeah. I watch AEW. I watch Ring of Honor whenever it's on. And then I also follow and support GCW because, like I said, I got a couple of friends who wrestle there now. And so I've been out to a couple of GCW shows, in Jeffersonville, Indiana. And I've gone up to New Jersey a couple times to some GCW shows, too.
Okay, cool.
Damn straight.
So it's
Yeah,
pretty wild, yeah.
We need to check out more of GCW.
Game changer wrestling.
Game Changer Wrestling. We see a lot of the MLW guys sometimes. There's one that wrestles at New South a lot.
Yeah.
And what's his
Myron
name?
Reed.
Myron Reed. He's
Yeah.
over there a lot. So
And we had Dalton McQueen.
Don McQueen's there sometimes. Tony down there has a great product. Like, can you believe that? Who like you got Brian Pillman down there and
Yeah,
Ooh.
AEW star Brian Pillman Jr. has been down at New South wrestling lately. We've also
And
had
Jay Lethal.
AEW superstar Jay
Billy
Lethal.
Gunn, his boys.
Yeah, we had Billy Gunn down with the Ass Boys.
Billy
Jerry
Gunn
Q.
was
Lawler?
was champion for a while.
Yeah, he was New South champion for a little while too. So we've been seeing a lot of big names coming through.
Yeah,
You damn straight.
I got a picture with him.
With who?
Billy Gunn.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
He's deceptively big, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's huge, dude, and he's like old as fuck, but he looks great.
No,
I wouldn't say that to his face.
I know, but
Yeah, you
he's
better.
but he looks great. He's like 50 some years old. And he looks
Yeah.
supreme. Like he looks great. Like
He works out, stays on top of his diet.
Damn straight.
Brandon, so you say you like the old like the black and gold, the NXT, and you were just naming some of the superstars. Like, you like the technical matches. Well, what do you think about we were talking about Seth Rollins earlier. He's one of the best technical wrestlers in the game right now.
Yeah, I heard he had a great match with The Miz on Raw, so that's an accomplishment in and of itself, right?
Exactly.
So, AEW, what do you think about Switchblade being over at AEW now?
I'm waiting to see. Like when he came in, like he's a great talent. I think he's an exceptional promo and character worker. But when he came in, I was just kind of like, oh, I thought it would be maybe a bigger deal. He just kind of attacked Ricky Starks and then left.
Yeah.
And by the end of the show, I'd kind of forgotten that it happened. You know what I mean? So I probably would have debuted him at the end and maybe a bigger moment.
I would have too.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think they wanted to start to. They everybody already knew he had signed. They just wanted to get it out there.
But
And he started you think the Bullet Club is going to be the Bullet Club Gold is going to be a big thing in AEW?
I think since they used that name, Bullet Club Gold, I think you can put that on a T-shirt easily, right? And that could be something that AEW Tony Khan owns, right? I guess it's kind of tricky with New Japan owning Bullet Club or not, right?
Yep.
But yeah, if you did Bullet Club Gold, you could totally have Juice and Switchblade, and then have them recruit some people. Why not?
But it reminds me of NWO Black and Silver.
Yeah.
Remember they had different factions.
Yeah. Well, not so much anymore. They're not, like you said, they haven't really done anything with it yet. Like this guy, Switchblade just came and now he's fighting somebody that's.
But Bullet Club's been around
Sean Spears,
13 years.
You think Sean Spears is going to join up with them?
They just showed him on camera checking out Jay White.
Yeah.
So he's fighting. This is Commander, and if you haven't seen Commander, this guy is awesome. I went and saw him actually at a GCW show last year, SummerSlam weekend, and he just floored me with the speed and the mastery of the ropes that he has.
He's impressive.
He's kind of like Rey Mysterio when it comes to the ropes, ain't he?
Yeah. Does lots of springboards.
Yeah, and earlier he was masterfully jumped from one rope to the next rope to back and the back.
Yeah.
Brandon, what's your take on Sting? Being there and taking Darby under his wing, and him like being like that's like his protege or like.
I feel like it has really worked. At first, I was like, I don't know if I like this, but
yeah, I didn't know if I liked it when it worked either.
It kind of became like peanut butter and chocolate, man. It worked out because it's like you've got kind of the older, disgruntled Batman type of character in Sting. He's been around the block and fought in these wars, and then you've got Darby Allin, who's kind of like the Robin or the Nightwing, who needs to be kind of shown the way because
nice analogy.
More like Red Hood.
Or Red Hood,
Yeah,
I'm not
Red Hood.
I'm not trying to call Darby a child, but like he got in over his head a couple of times.
Yep.
Sting came and bailed him out.
Yeah.
Sting really is like the Batman of AEW.
Let me just shout out a series of matches. Samoa Joe and Darby Allin were some of my favorite matches. That I think were they last year?
They were last year.
Last year, really good matches.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a match between them.
Who around here, and I know you're going everywhere, GCW, like everywhere, like who do you want that match with? Like, you're like, that guy I have to have a match with. Oh,
man. I think Mickey Midas is really excellent. He's got a great blend of like high flying and acrobatics and stuff like that. And not just because of the Midas last name. I think Mickey Midas is someone that I could see myself having a great match with. There's a few people, like I said, Marty.
Name them out.
Name them all.
Marty Clay came to mind immediately when I saw that guy. I'm like, that dude is like our Kurt Angle. Like, he could just do this so effortlessly.
Yeah, he's such a star, man. We were down there and watched him beat Marcus Johnson down there for the Allied Pro Wrestling.
Fair and square, by the way.
Yeah, he's the champ down there now. So they took down the ropes and they had a Kumite style match.
Just like Bloodsport.
It was incredible.
Okay, like a Bloodsport type of thing.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
It was incredible.
It really was because you couldn't exit the ring. If you ring out, match it up with, you had to submit or knock the guy out.
I think the only thing missing from the match was the blood. In that movie Bloodsport, there was blood all over the white mat.
You
but
kind
down
of
there it wasn't.
You kind of get to where you want that.
Shout out to Marty because I went down there with Jan. He told me to come in the ring and he gave me was helping me with like the psychology part and like being a veteran and as good as he is at what he does, he was trying to help me get better. So
yeah, he's been in the studio twice now. He's when he first came into the studio, he was
quiet
and young, and like And in the last year or so, he's just
He's opened up just like that.
developed into this freaking star. Like all of a sudden, he's just like, we had him in here, and he was like, he wasn't a star, but then like all of a sudden, he's like this freaking jacked. He stays in the gym. He's in there working out. I've seen him in the studio. I've seen him in the ring and in the gym. You know what I'm saying? So,
He
like,
eats, sleeps, and breathes professional wrestling in gym.
yeah. So he's committed to doing this, guys, and he's been going down to Texas and wrestling down there with
John Gilbert.
John Gilbert down there, and they've been wrestling in Texas. So he's on the up and coming, man. He's wrestling while you can, because like he's gonna be up in the big leagues at some point.
He's either gonna be at AEW or he's gonna be at WWE Superstar.
Yeah, he's definitely going places. But I look around the roster, and there's like some heavyweights that I want to fight. Zodiac was a mentor of mine back when I started wrestling a long time ago. So I can't wait to get in there and test myself with my old teacher. You know what I mean?
That's gonna be great.
So anyone that's
He was our champion for a while.
Yeah, that's correct.
You're gonna be throwing hands with him.
Yeah, plus he throws fire, so I think that's cool. Like, I
Yeah.
love Mortal Kombat and stuff like that.
Me too.
Anybody can throw fireballs, that's awesome.
They're all going to turn on Ricky here, ain't they?
I think
Probably.
They're all going to turn on Ricky.
You can kind of telegraph it too, because look at how he's positioned. His back is to him,
Yep.
and it reminds me of other times where you can tell.
Yeah, he's going to turn on him.
If they don't, they're gonna save it.
Yeah, they're going to save it. They're not going to do it today, but he's going to turn.
It's kind of like a teaser.
One of them's going to turn.
Next time they has it back to him, someone's gonna turn.
Brandon, so any other heavyweights around, like just in Kentucky or like out at like surrounding states like Indiana, West Virginia, they got big time pro wrestling. So any other heavyweights besides Zodiac that like it's that match is like he was saying, like I gotta have that match. Like,
Let's see. Being in these locker rooms, I've gotten to talk to a lot of guys, and I've talked to Garrison Creed an awful lot.
oh, he's
and
awesome.
That guy's
He's
pretty
cool, man. Ain't he cool as
He's,
fuck?
he's a cool guy. He's pretty intense, and I know he'd probably thrash.
And he's jacked.
He'd probably thrash me, but I don't know. I just think I'd have a pretty fun match with him.
Actually, I think y'all could have a 5-star match.
Him and Marty had that match last week it was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I heard it. I didn't get to watch it. I wasn't there, but I heard it was a hell of a match.
it really was. You should have been there because
Yeah.
those two tore that house down.
I got to talk to Marty about that match, and he said it was incredible working with Garrison. That Garrison's such a professional.
Yeah, and I mean, they're probably going to put it up on the New South Pro Wrestling YouTube channel here pretty soon. Just
Yeah.
a little shout
Damn
out to that as
straight.
well.
Yeah, he's such a professional. He's a great guy. I messed with him in the back, and he's jacked. He's got these fucking muscles. I was like, Garrison, get over and get some of his food, man. You're kind of looking a little slim there. And he looked at me like he was gonna kill me. I was like, I love like fucking with him, dude. He's so cool. He's like just that guy. Like he is that guy. I can see them putting on the belt on him down
Also,
there in New South.
he told us.
Yeah, I can see it.
Also, he told us a really funny story. We were all horsing around playing wrestling, and he's like, "I saw Porndorf teabag guy a long time ago. Imagine that, a 78-year-old Porndorf sticking his dick in someone's face, teabagging them."
Yeah, he was telling us that story, and we was outside there, and I was like messing with because Chris Blade and Sean was wrestling around outside, and I was like, Chris, teabag Sean, and I was like, no, and then Garrison told us that story about Paul Orndorff teabagging somebody because he couldn't take a bump that night or something because he was still hurt, and he's like, well, then he teabagged somebody. It was like funny as hell.
Oh my goodness!
I could see you probably pulling your own weight, which you only got to wrestling, but like what for like maybe a minute talking about Omega. I'd love to see you and Omega go at it 1-on-1.
Yeah, I thought about that. Like everybody in the back, some guys get. The locker room will talk about like, oh, you got to watch that guy. He hits pretty hard, and people were saying that about Omega. They're like, Omega hits hard, so just be prepared for that.
Man, did you see when Omega and Marty Clay were at EWA there at the end at that Battle Royal, and they were like just chopping the shit out of each other on the side, man. I think like Omega has some hell of some chops, but Marty Clay was like, when I was filming it, it was like pop, dude. Marty Clay was laying them in there, and he don't usually do chops, is what he said, but he's like, I was laying them in there. He said Omega said that he'd laid them in on him.
You have to. You got to fight back, or you're gonna get eaten alive with a guy like that.
Yeah.
Because Omega is a hard hitter.
Yeah, and Marty Clay's not going to be a pushover, no matter who it is.
Man,
You know what I mean?
He's freaking jacked. And Omega's jacked. That's a match I want to see too. I want to see that match.
That's the kind of match to show someone that says wrestling's fake. Just ask him, was that fake? The way he slapped that guy's chest like that?
Mm-hmm.
Have any questions for him?
That was great.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah, I'm just listening.
Okay.
My man's doing what all new wrestlers should do. Listening.
Absolutely. And you guys, when you helped us take down the ring last week, or was it last week, EWA, or 2 weeks ago?
It was, I think it was 2 weeks ago.
I have found that that's the best time to learn about some of the veteran wrestlers is when they're telling you how to take down the ring. You can ask them these questions like, hey, what's the best way to choke somebody out from behind? Or what's the best way to throw a punch to knock a guy out? And you can ask these questions of these old school wrestlers, and they'll teach you
I was asking you a bunch of questions at EWA, wasn't I?
Yeah, and you really learn a lot, don't you?
Yep.
So, me helping out doing these sort of things, it's like, oh, I'm getting I'm learning some good stuff.
Yeah, that's picking brains.
Yep.
That's the way you do it.
Yep. Trying to find out the weaknesses of my opponents.
Even guys like Brandon Wolf were more than happy to chat away.
Yeah, I met him. We might have to have a Brandon versus Brandon match.
Oh yeah,
Fact.
Brandon,
Yeah.
Brandon's cool. He's the UCW champion down there at UCW.
Yep.
He's got
Right on.
he's got their belt. What's their belt called? The Supreme something?
Yeah, I think it's the UCW Southern States Champion.
Ain't
Southern States
Ain't
champion.
that Terry
that's what it
England's
is.
company?
Terry England, yeah, Terry England, them, they're so nice, man.
Yeah.
Terry England and then Jimmy Walls, those guys are great, you know.
Just
and
don't have no money lying around when Terry England looks your way.
Brandon T. Wilson's awesome too. Why
You know why? Because as soon as he sees it, this is what he's gonna be doing.
he's gonna
That tender
he's gonna-
for me.
he's gonna throw it in the wrestling in the wrestling money
Also,
bucket.
he'll do what this man does. If you ever try to talk to him when he's counting money, you might as well forget it. You ain't talk to that man because he's busy counting that money.
You got Adam Cole, baby.
Brandon, and I'll tell you another guy who's really impressed me, even though I don't like him because he's a loudmouth, but that's the whole part of his wrestling, his gimmick. I think you and him could make a hell of a match. Carson Drake with that loud microphone hit.
Oh, you're right. Carson
Oh, that'd be
Drake,
great.
That guy's got star written all over
He's
him.
such a star, ain't he?
Yeah, ever since the moment I saw him with that bullhorn.
Here's another match that you might be interested in. You versus Gaston LaRue. Mr. By the Book.
Absolutely.
I call him Gaston LeBou because I mess with him. So
Yeah.
Kristen LeBou.
Yes, on the boo.
Hey, you thought Missy
He's got
scary.
a podcast. He's got a podcast.
Yeah, he
don't
does.
What's
He
it
does.
called?
It's called By the Book with Gaston LaRue.
Check out By the Book with Gaston LaRue on Spotify, I think it is. I think he's on
Yep,
Spotify.
Spotify.
We're on Spotify, too, so check us out, too. Got Nice Guy Indie Podcast, Rinky Dink Bullshit Podcast on
You
on,
damn straight with Ricky
Spotify.
Dink.
So, but check out Gaston LaRue, By the Book with Gaston LaRue.
You know, you versus Drew Dillinger would be a hell of a match.
That's a scary man right
that's a
there.
big
Yeah,
boy.
that's a big
The
boy.
Ghost Maker.
He's such a great wrestler to be as big as he is. Like,
Yeah.
he gets around so, like, he does these crazy, great moves. Talking about Gaston has a hell of a suplex. Like, he has a crazy, great suplex.
He really does.
And like we said, the Ghost Maker, he's incredible in the ring.
For a guy his size to be able to do what he does,
Yeah.
that's impressive.
He moves around so great.
Okay. I'll put him on my list.
Who
You'll
have
be able
you
to
who have
scope
you
him
been
out.
in who have you been in the ring with since you've been back that just impressed you so much, or just who have you been in the ring with in general?
Let's see. So since I've come back, we've got our little XCF dojo there, and I wanted to bring up a guy named Charles Colton, who is a local indie wrestler who's wrestled in the same area. He actually took a break from wrestling around the same time I did and came back around the same time that I did. And the crazy thing is I wrestled him in like 2010. So like 12 years ago, we
Hell
wrestled each
yeah.
other, and now it's like he's come back and done the same thing I've done. Right? So we have not crossed paths just yet in XCF, but I can't wait for it because he's a big shit disturber, and so am I. We both love to push people's buttons and mess with people, so I can't wait for that feud because I don't know how the crowd is going to go with it, who they're going to cheer, or who they're going to boo, but we're going to mess with each other hardcore.
You got a fan here. Mike Stallcup said, "What's up, Valor? Woo!"
What up, Mike? So Mike's part of our crew over there too. He does some behind the scenes work for us and sets up some of the YouTube channel shows that we've got over there too.
Hell yeah.
Mike, like and subscribe to the Nice Guy Podcast.
Damn straight, because we be putting out great content.
I could, Brendan. I could tell you two more that I think that you could match up with, which is Nasty Nate, who has been in the studio before. Nasty Nate,
Nasty Nate's awesome.
And Jay Money from Generation Next, but he's never been in the studio. But he's a heck of a wrestler too. So.
Nate's going to be making his return to the ring soon, right?
Yep.
Legends never die.
Legends never die.
I'm familiar with Nate. I've met him in passing, but I've never had a match with
He's
him.
awesome,
so
man.
He's somebody I'd like to wrestle with.
We had him in here in the studio, and he got so like I have a bar in there, and a lot of wrestlers don't like.
Gotta tell a story, Chris.
He lives that story. Like, he lives that. Like he drinks, he smokes. He's the man. You know.
And
came in here, had a few drinks.
Not only that, but this man right here, he said, "Brother, I need a shot." This man poured him a whole cup, and Nate did this. He's like, "Brother, I don't know if he's trying to date rape me or he don't know how to pour a shot."
I mean, Brandon, the way I see it, if I'm pouring somebody a shot, you got to go big or go home, not no little shot. So.
He gave him a whole solo cup of bourbon.
Oh man!
And listen, Andy, he says, as a seasoned alcoholic, I don't know what to do or say about this.
It was so funny.
It was hilarious because then he lost his phone here. He had to come back.
Left his phone here, had to come back. Was drunk as hell when he had a designated driver, so his girlfriend was with him, but he was drunk in hell. And then and then he stopped. He lost a belt. And he took some time off from wrestling, and then I was out with my kids doing Halloween, and he had his kid out there Halloween, and we were in the same neighborhood, and he walks up on me, and I was like, man, he's such a cool guy, man. Me and him walked a few houses together and got some candy, and we would sit there and talked about wrestling, and he's such a good guy, man. He's awesome.
Oh my God, son!
Shocker gang! Can't wait to get him back in the studio.
Damn straight.
Yeah, I look forward to crossing paths with him at the next generation.
I think
next
you
show.
and him going to have a great match because y'all are similar styles,
Yeah.
That high flying kind of fast high flying style.
Yeah.
Do you come off the ropes with any kind of moves?
Yeah. So the last match I had on Saturday, I did a springboard plancha to the outside. You know how Jericho does a springboard drop kick? I just go over the top rope and land on the guy. But I've never been much of a flyer. I don't do a heck of a lot of high flying. I like to try and ground people and then stretch them if I can.
Yeah.
I would too. As the best advantage, take out the body parts. They won't be able to use them.
Guys, sorry about the background noise. It's kind of hot in the studio. They haven't turned the air conditioner on, so we got the window open. So some of the traffic down though, you hear some of the traffic.
Brandon, so what would you say, your style of wrestling is like a technician / what is that your style or what? And what I'm trying to use? What is the word? What made you decide that that's the style that you wanted to use, in the ring? You get what I'm saying?
So I like being kind of a thinking man's wrestler. So I've always really liked people that are really technical, but they also can get into their opponent's heads. Chris Jericho's on the screen over here, and he's a personal favorite of mine. I feel like he's really good at getting in his opponent's heads before the matches.
So manipulating them.
Mind games.
Mind games, yeah. Triple H, cerebral assassin types of stuff.
One of the best.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who it was recently. Buddy Matthews from the House of Black. He was attacking Orange Cassidy's hand throughout the match. I love disabling a body part on an opponent. I fought this guy Hammer, and I was thinking, how am I going to beat him? He likes to punch a lot. He's like a Stone Cold Steve Austin type brawler. I'm going to break his hand. I'm going to break his knuckles. So he can't pick me up for that jackhammer. He can't pick me up for a spine buster. And he can't punch me in the face as much. So I like trying to pick a body part.
So
apart.
so tell us, you have the dojo up there. Was it UCF? Is what you're saying? UCF?
The XEF.
No, XCF.
Yeah, so XCF is the
Is that a wrestling program? Or
Promotion.
promotion?
Yeah, it's a promotion. It's Shane Mercer's, and he runs it
Okay.
about every 2 months. So we'll have like a pay-per-view event every 2 months or so. In the meantime,
He's a hell of a wrestler himself, Shane Mercer.
he is, yeah.
The
And
Iron
he's,
Demon.
He's actually looking at buying a building and building a ring in there so he can start his own school.
Yeah, yeah.
Full time. But right now we've been using the one at the Jeffersonville Arena,
Yeah.
basically. But every third Saturday of the month, I'm wrestling at TCW up there, which is Alexander Knuckles. That's his school and his promotion. So we've been having matches up there too.
Hell yeah. Hey, we've been trying to come down to XCF.
Yeah.
That's a great promotion because Shane Mercer is behind it.
Yeah, he's awesome. Shane's awesome. He actually cut a promo for the podcast at New South.
Yes, he did. As a matter of fact, they can see it on YouTube right now.
Yeah, it's on YouTube right now. So how'd you get hooked up with Shane? Like, you know?
So after KIA Wrestling closed down, that's the place where I trained at. I just started bouncing around indies in Kentucky. You know, Lawrenceburg, Harrodsburg, Paris, Kentucky, Georgetown, and I bumped into Shane Mercer and his friend Corey Havoc at a little indie called Salt River Wrestling. And my friend Mike Mondelli would wrestle there. I think maybe Zane had wrestled there a couple times. Raziel. We're just two different groups of guys that all were wrestling on these indies, and I remember a lot of the wrestlers at the time wanting to have very basic matches. It was simple, let's get out there and do some body slams and a leg drop and it's over with.
Yeah.
But we were all wanting to have like X Division style matches where we're doing backflips and doing really risky stuff.
Yeah.
And of course the veterans are like, stop that, you're going to get hurt, you're going to have short careers and all that crap. But we just wanted to do exciting new stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of those guys, you know, like I said, Shane and Alex Zane, they hit a larger wave, and when they were doing backyarding and traveling all over the place and doing these super shows. So I felt like I left something on the table by not doing what they were doing.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to ask you about that too. Do you regret taking the time off?
I had a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
I was chasing girls for the
Hell
better part
yeah.
of 10 years. You know
I
what I
hear
mean?
that.
I did a lot of partying.
Yeah.
But I was still going out to heavy metal shows and still going out to wrestling shows. I just wasn't an active wrestler anymore. And yeah, you're right.
Did you like every year? Was you like when you took off every year? Was like, I'm gonna get back in next year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back in next year, and it took you like 10 years, and then you're like, damn, I had to. Was there a female that kept you out? Like, was there a girlfriend that like kept your interest, kept your attention?
No, I've actually had a couple of supportive girlfriends that would go and sit in the crowd even though they hated wrestling, and
Yeah.
they would sit in the car and wait for me to help put up the rings and stuff. Honestly, it's probably my buddy Shane Mercer who has been pushing all of us at this dojo to get back into it, because he saw something in all of us. If he thought we weren't worth a shit, he wouldn't give us the time of day.
Exactly.
But he saw some sort of talent or grit or something in each one of us and was like, you got to keep chasing this. If it's your dream, go for it.
I can see it too.
Thanks.
Just looking at you, buddy.
Yeah,
I see what he saw.
yeah. That's the way we feel about the podcast. You know, it's like, we have this little dream of doing this podcast, and we love doing it, and we just we wanted to get as big as it can, and and we're small beans right now, but everybody seems to love coming on the podcast and seems to love us having us at the show. So we're gonna keep doing it as long as we can, and at some point, if it doesn't make it, I guess we'll have to give it up. But I never want to give it up, but I'd love to I'm going to retire from UPS in a few years, and I'd
love to do it full time.
I'd love to do this full time, but
Absolutely, yeah.
but we got to get support behind us from the Nice Guy Indie Podcast fans. Everybody's got to support us, and buy our subscription. That way we can afford to.
We already
get
got
some,
2 subscriptions right now.
We can afford to get some people we can afford to get some merchandise that we can sell, and you know, the podcast has to live on itself. I can't support the podcast with my paycheck forever. I mean, I have, and I will continue for a little bit longer, but the podcast has to live on itself, and it does make a little bit of money itself. But you know, it was awesome when Facebook was paying us.
There's Billy Gunn right there.
So
speaking of the
easy
devil.
when Facebook was paying us pretty good money, but you know they're not anymore. So
Because Facebook's being weird. But
I think
that's
we
how
got
it
some.
is.
I think we have some haters out there that are secretly hating on us, that are reporting our podcast, like, or reporting us for just because they don't like us.
Is there a rival podcast that has it out for you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
I mean,
we don't want to say there
ain't gonna
kind of
say his
is a
name 'cause
rival
they ain't getting
podcast, but I don't know if those are the guys that are doing it. But there could be some haters somewhere on doing some stuff.
Andy, you know the way I feel about haters is kind of like me, you know, being a wrestler and training. You know, I take that mindset. People's like tell me all the time where I'm little that I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to take that as motivation and prove them wrong, that I'm going to be able to do this. Like, I'm going to use that as to prove my haters wrong, to show them that, look, you're wrong, and I'm going to prove you wrong. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I always
That's
say,
right.
man, if you want to do something, just like I hate to like tell Nike things, but like the whole Nike thing is just do it. Like you just do it. Like if you want to be a fucking wrestler, go out there and do it. You might not ever be like AEW champion or WWF champion, but you have to do it.
Andy, Omega D said he'll give you $5 to punch him.
For me to punch him?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna punch Chris. I'll pass on the $5.
I
But
will.
Omega,
Chris
you're
is
done.
sweating over there. I see how it is.
Johnny Lee will though. Johnny
Yeah.
Lee will punch. These guys
Sorry,
will
bro,
punch
I
each
love
other.
you, but Omega D's promised $5,
$5 is $5.
and that's $5.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Appreciate you, Omega. Omega's awesome, man. He come in this, man. And I hadn't been that close to him, man. But like, you know, I had to back up off. I thought he was gonna maybe, you know, he's an intimidating guy, you know.
Pretty intense, yeah.
Yeah, he's an intense guy, but he's a good guy too. He works with the special needs people too, is what I
Yep.
understand. And you know, so
Hey,
I actually do Special Olympics, so
yeah. So Chris is, you know, he does Special Olympics, and then
Excellent.
me and
You
Andrew
know,
both. So
yeah, Andrew Browning does that, and I think I don't know if Omega works with them still, but he had in the past worked with the special needs people. Shout out to Omega Pitbull Fitness. That's Omega D's it's his fitness little company that he has, and he's jacked. So look at him, and if you want to get the muscles like Omega, man, call up Omega Pitbull Fitness. You can check them out on Facebook. And tell them that Nice Guy Andy Podcast sent you over that
and
way.
last Friday I checked up on him during the match because during the match we thought they landed onto his neck. I was like, oh. So later that night I messaged him, not because anyone asked me to, not because he asked me to. I messaged him out of Cosmart because I wanted to know if he's all right. And he said, yeah, I'm all right. I just lost my foot and that's all. I was like,
But
I'm glad to hear it.
that goes to show you, if you get in the gym and you train and you lift those weights, that's the reason why these guys lift these weights and get these muscles to protect themselves from spots like that. You know, you get those big muscles in your neck and you can protect your neck.
Absolutely. I mean, they say it's not ballet for a reason because
Protect your neck.
you're really getting thrown around out there.
Yeah.
Ain't no two words about it.
damn straight.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy needs to hit the weights, don't he?
Yeah,
Get those muscles.
me too. I mean,
Yeah.
we're
Me
both,
too,
We're
me
both
too.
we're both gonna have an uphill battle.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, I wouldn't say that because look at the size of Darby and Orange Cassidy. I mean, the way I see it, if they can do it with their size, I can do it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they got muscles though.
100%. Nothing is impossible, but we do need to know that, like, I mean, it's combat, right? So the more muscle that you have, that's more protection for your organs and your skeleton and everything.
Yeah. You gotta get in there. You gotta eat right, protect yourself, get in the gym, take your vitamins, drink your milk, and do what Hulk Hogan told us to do.
It
years ago.
helps you pick up guys that's well above your weight.
Yeah.
Was it Shane Mercer that picked up was it Shane Mercer that picked up Zodiac down there in New
Yes.
South and
Yes, he
body
did.
slammed him? Oh my God, it was freaking amazing.
Yeah, I thought he got Garrison Creed. No, Zodiac was down in the corner, and he did a moonsault and battery with Garrison Creed, I believe.
Yeah, that was a hell of a match. Was that a 3-way match?
Yes.
Three-way Hoss fight. Yeah.
Man, three-way
And-
Hoss fight. Mercer, Shane Mercer. That guys, you got to go down to New South. They're having matches like Garrison Creed and Zodiac and Shane Mercer going all against each other in a Hoss match. Like, good Lord,
They're
like
missing
that was a
out on
match,
great
incredible and crazy match.
And Garrison Creed's still on about how he threw Shane Mercer during that match. He's like, how many guys can say that they picked up Shane Mercer and threw him?
Yeah, Garrison's awesome.
There's a rivalry there. So I can't wait to see those guys one-on-one.
Yeah, Garrison's
Me
awesome,
too.
man. Garrison's a great guy.
Hey,
I can't wait to see that on YouTube. The New South Wrestling YouTube channel. The Marty Clay versus Garrison Creed. I can't wait to see that match.
I can't wait. When as soon as it happens, I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay, cool.
Hey, another guy that likes you, your best friend, AJ Kazana.
Oh, AJ Kazan is an awesome guy. We had him down there, man. The outlaw outlaws,
the country gentleman.
country gentlemen. Those guys are incredible.
Right
AJ
on.
Kazanza is a great guy. His was it Anthony Andrews?
Yep, Anthony Andrews.
Anthony
his cousin.
Andrews came on first, and then he blew me the fuck away. He was like incredible, dude.
He
was
roasted.
Such a nice guy.
He roasted Carson Drake. He roasted Austin Diamond.
Carson took it good, but Austin didn't take it very good at all.
Austin stared at him, but then left. Well, meanwhile, Carson Drake's just sitting over like,
It was so funny, man. He was roasting He's like, and Carson Drake hadn't even wrestled down there at New South yet. He was down there like just meeting Anthony, I think, that night. But,
yep, and also helping out.
Yeah, and helping out. But it was awesome that AJ kind of. We was on the podcast, and you can go back on the podcast, one of the lives on the Facebook, and I'm gonna put all that stuff on the YouTube at some point. So, well, damn, he just freaking took that screwdriver and bent it, didn't he?
And AJ Kazana gave you your gimmick name.
Yeah, he did.
Silverhawk.
The Silver Hawk. He called me the Silver
Silver
Hawk. So I love your hair, man. Just silver. You got a big Silver Hawk thing going on over there, don't you? And I was like, yeah, he's awesome. His dad actually owns his own promotion up. What?
Yep.
Was it in Chicago they're in or what?
Tennessee, I think.
No, it's in Tennessee. Yeah. Those guys are from Tennessee.
Joe Fritz Kazana. That's his name.
Yeah.
Shout out to him and AJ Kazana, because damn, they're doing big things.
Yeah. Those guys are awesome, man.
Also, the fact that the country gentleman just
Man, their belt, dude. Their tag team belts, like, are incredible. They're beautiful. Like these belts are, nice that we have, but the belt that those guys had, the tag team championship.
Yep, the NWA United States Tag Team
NWA has the best, like the most prettiest belts, man.
They really do. Especially those tag team belts that the Kazana and Anthony hold. Those are the NWA Tag Team United States Championship belts.
Those are incredible belts.
I'll
They're
have to look them
beautiful.
up.
They're beautiful, man. He let us hold them, and they were just. I'd never seen a belt that pretty.
I felt in awe just holding that belt.
Yeah.
He's like, "You steal that, I'm gonna beat your ass." I said, "Well, sir, you can have back."
So Jordan Grace is she's going to be a free agent soon. Like, where do you think she's going to go?
She could go to AEW. I wouldn't mind that. Or
Man, I want to see that. I want to see Jordan come over and take that TBS belt off of Jade.
I would love that.
I do
think
too.
that would be the best thing to happen.
Yeah, that'd be
Like,
Because-
Jade's got to lose at some point.
Yeah, she's beat everyone else.
Yeah.
What better way than Jordan Grace comes over
Man.
and just completely dominates and takes the title?
That would take Jordan. That would take Jade to another level. To bring Jordan Grace in and have her beat Jade, and then them two have a rivalry for a while.
Yeah.
That would take Rampage, because Jordan. I always like Rampage is Jade Cargill's show. Really,
It does. Yeah, it feels
it
like
seems like her show, and I think that they should just lean into that more. Yeah, because she's a star anyway. But then if Jordan Grace came over and they that would take that show to epic proportion. Man, I think.
Oh, Marcus Fine is watching. Hey, Marcus Fine, super fan of all professional wrestling. He's been to every independent professional wrestling show this year and last year.
Wow.
Shout out to Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus Fine. We met him at EWA. He came over and he talked to us for a bit.
Oh yeah, okay. Shout out.
But yeah, Jordan Grace, take a towel off. Jordan Grace, Jade Corgell would be a big story.
Jade's she's gotta lose at some point. I mean, she's
Yeah, because look at her
can't-
winning streak.
yeah, she's winning. Like she can't go forever, I guess. But
I mean, I find it funny that she's having a winning streak because there's been several people that she could have lost to that would not have hurt her one bit.
yeah.
Especially someone like Thunder Rosa.
You're right. I mean, I not right now, but I would say Willow Nightingale would be a great upset to beat
Yeah,
Jade.
she's a great wrestler. She really
Yes,
is.
she is.
I think she's just got such a likable, bubbly personality, and it's so different.
Well, what happened to her and what's her name being in a tag team together? Her and Ruby Soho. They had a little tag team going on for a while.
So Ruby turned on the originals and joined the Outcasts.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of when that split happened.
Yep.
Yeah. But
That's what I
they
mean.
kind of reminded me of the Dudley Boys when they were doing it. They when those two were together, that kind of like they came out, and I don't even know if they did it on purpose, but they came out and they had like white t-shirts on and they had the camouflage pants on. It wasn't exactly like the Dudley Boys, but it reminded me of the Dudley Boys so much. I thought that maybe, I always think that maybe the women divisions should like kind of copy like the older wrestlers at some point, like the old school '90s, the Attitude Era, kind of, and kind of bring some of that stuff back. I always thought that Becky Lynch should have the
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
she should have the stunner. Like,
Damn straight.
man, she would be so awesome with the stunner. Her being the man, because she comes out like Stone Cold anyway, kind of like it's almost reminiscent, but it's totally different. It's feminine.
Yeah.
But and if she would give everybody the stunner, she could give guys the stunner and this and that. And then they gave the stunner to
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. But still, man, if they would have gave her the stunner, she does a rock bottom kind of thing now. But if they would have gave her the stunner, I think that would have just pushed her to the moon. She's a huge star now, but that would have pushed her to the moon, I think.
Speaking of Attitude Era, did you see Trish Stratus's promo Monday night?
I've heard that's a really good promo.
Yes, it was. She not only did she say, "I'm not your fucking fancy," but I'm the one that started the women's revolution. That's fire, because she's basically saying, you got me to thank for why the women are today is getting what they get.
Yep.
She did kind of start that whole revolution that she did. She came in with she was like one of the her and Lita, because they were so athletic when they came in.
Yeah, I remember watching at the time, and I've always really liked people that are great wrestlers. And so whenever I would see somebody that was on screen and they clearly were just a Vince McMahon, she's attractive. Like, he's just putting a bikini model on screen.
Yeah.
It would make me mad because it's like, bikini models are great, but I love pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Give me women wrestlers who are good in the ring.
Yeah.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean? And so it took them forever for the, there were so many like Divas matches that were 1 or 2 minutes long, or they were pillow fights or something.
brawl and panties match and
Yeah.
Stuff
And
like that was-
it's like, it's not wrestling.
was ridiculous.
That's right,
It was
it
a
wasn't.
gimmick shit, but without doing that, I guess they would have never had the women even doing anything. So I guess you gotta do that little shitty shit before you do the good stuff. I guess I don't know.
And
Exactly.
there were some really great wrestlers at the time. Like, I thought Ivory was great in the ring. Victoria.
Victoria's
Like, how
awesome.
great was Victoria? Or Tara?
She was great.
As she was known,
She hit that widow's peak. It was over with.
Yeah.
She's a badass, man. She was a badass, and I don't know why she's not like that. People don't put her over as much. She don't get her flowers as much as she should.
She should, because she's one of those badasses.
Mickey James just recently, did you see where she just retired from Impact? Like she made this big speech and said how she had to relinquish the Impact Knockouts Championship.
But her husband came back, Aldous.
I think Mickey will be back in some way.
Yeah, because Aldis came back. He just came back like he came to Impact. So
She didn't retire. She had to relinquish the title due to injury. So she was never beaten, nor did she win. So I don't think.
And
she's
there's
going
a story there.
Yeah, she's
right.
not
So
gonna go out.
right now, Mike Macklin and what's her name? The women.
Steve Macklin.
Steve Macklin. No.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah, Steve Macklin.
Steve Macklin in Impact, and then what's her name? The champion.
Shit.
Diana Peraza.
Yep.
Diana Peraza.
Diana
She's the
Peraza.
champion. They're a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that's
they're-
the boyfriend and girlfriend, women's and men's champions.
Yeah.
Ah.
Y'all want to know my opinion about women wrestling in
No,
general?
we don't want to know your
No,
opinion.
no, it's
No,
good.
negative.
No, it's,
Yeah,
it's
we-
not bad. I promise.
Don't
It's
get us
nothing, it's
canceled.
nothing sexual. It's nothing bad. I promise.
All right.
So like, my opinion now, I feel like they're underlooked compared to like the males. They work just as hard and they put their body on the line every day, just like the men. But they don't get enough credit like the men. And I think that there should be more women wrestlers in whether it's big time or independent. Like they're so underlooked.
I think that, and I'll say this until everybody listens, that Rhea Ripley and Charlotte should have main event the first night of
You
WrestleMania.
damn straight.
Yes.
That should have been the thing. Like I know the Usos and Sami Zayn and all them are big stars, but I think that they should have
I mean,
I think that Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair definitely should have main evented that.
that was
night.
a hard hit match.
They had the best night. I think they had one of the best matches the whole night.
It stole the show.
Point proven, Andy. Like I said, the women are underlooked. They don't get the credit that they deserve. Point proven.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it stole the show. I mean, they weren't there to wrestle. They were there to beat the hell out of each other.
Rhea beating Charlotte was incredible. I think that was and everybody kind of figured that was what's going to happen, but it was time for Rhea to be the champ. But
It was a redemption arc.
I kind of knew that was going to happen once she won the Royal Rumble and she made it to WrestleMania. That's how the storyline that they were
Yeah.
setting it up. So
That's
what'd you
chose.
think about Reigns beating Cody?
Oh man, it broke my heart. Right.
Yeah, it broke
Yeah,
everybody's
One
heart.
of my friends sent me a meme of Cody laying face down on the ground with that little rubber chicken next to him. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it sucked the air out of the building. But
I knew it, man. I knew that was going to happen. I told these guys, I was like, Reigns is not losing at WrestleMania. You can just count on that. And these guys were like, nah, Cody's going to win.
Not me.
Sean was pissed. Sean Johns was mad. Like, I don't know if he's still mad about that.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Roman guy, but I was going for Cody at WrestleMania because I thought the way that they had the storyline setting up, like they was pushing Cody really hard to take the belt.
You see, that's where the mistake was made. Everyone thought that they were immediately going to put the towel on Cody.
Yeah.
What they don't understand is that the chase is very important.
you're very right. Like if he just goes out there and wins, he's already beaten the big bad guy, and there's nowhere else to go. But if he loses, he has to like keep trying to get back to that point and win.
I think they're
That's
gonna.
right.
I think they're gonna. At some point, Roman's gonna turn face. Like he's gonna turn good guy. Like at some point, Roman's got to be the good guy again.
I mean,
the crowd already loves him.
Yeah.
Like it won't take much to turn Roman into the good guy. I mean,
He's better now than what he was.
he wouldn't even have to change his attitude hardly any. I mean, everybody I love his attitude. I think
but Brandon,
I mean-
just stop the cheating part and start beating people like straight up, straight up. So I think that could happen.
Keep the attitude while he's face.
Yeah.
But I like what the point you was agreeing with Johnny was saying, like if you just put a belt on a guy, then they're gonna expect something. But I think if Solo wouldn't have been out there and interfered because Cody had it won, if he would not have did that, Cody would have won hands down.
I felt like that was kind of an unsatisfying ending where
Right.
Solo just came out, spiked Cody in the throat, and then
Right.
just won the match
Yeah.
straight up for Roman. And I'm like, well, Roman didn't beat Cody, Solo did.
Exactly.
But you know how they're building Solo to be like this monster. Like he can, like that was a part of that too. So because they're building Samoa, they're building Solo to be big because that Samoan Spike is just like a killer of everybody.
You know why? Because look at the man behind you.
Yep.
Umaga.
Umaga.
That's his uncle, because I think Rikishi and Umaga's brothers, ain't they?
Did you see this picture that's floating around of young Solo when he had the long hair? Looks dead on like a man right there. Umaga.
Yeah.
That's your favorite wrestler.
Umanga is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Brandon and me.
I was a big fan of his. I loved him.
And Andy said this a lot on the podcast, and I agree with him 100%. I feel like if Solo was a single wrestler, he would be having belts right now as a single competitor. So, because like he's that good.
He really would.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're building him up to ultimately one day fight Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
that's a big money match way down the line.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, if you watch that Goodfellas parody that they did, I find it funny that Paul Heyman didn't say his line. It was instead Solo that says, "You are a funny tribal chief."
Yeah,
it's like a little hint.
I love
that's
that
gonna
promo.
happen.
That promo was money.
Yeah.
I want, you know what I really want to happen? I want The Rock to eventually come back and dethrone Roman for the belt. So
It's not going to happen.
Nah, I could see Rock coming back for a match, maybe, but he's not
I
winning
could
any
see-
titles.
I can see Roman turning face before he loses he's going to have a run as a face before he loses that title, I think. I can see that.
I can see like him like just having the belts and then like The Rock not coming, but like so like he's just you know he's getting the crowd all worked up. You know he's in his mood. He's getting ready to win the match, and all of a sudden The Rock's music hit, but like it distracts him, and you know what I'm saying. And he loses a belt because his music hits, but The Rock never comes out as like a distraction.
I know Cody's so over as a face right now, but do y'all see him turning heel at some point?
I do, yeah, because I could just see sentiment turning against him from the crowd at some point.
Yeah.
Because you know that he's like the chosen good guy right now. So
Yeah.
when they start pushing him real hard, the crowd could turn on him, kind of like they did Cena back in the day. You
And
know
they
what I mean?
did
That's
Roman.
true.
They
Yeah.
turned on Roman,
Difference was though,
And Roman, yeah.
back then Roman was treated like a cartoon character, suffering succotash.
Yeah.
Now he's not.
I do remember that, yes. I protect that.
Hey, the time to turn him heel would have been after he beat Undertaker. When he had the crowd just booing the hell out of him, he didn't talk for over 30 minutes.
That was-
Finally, he just brings the mic up to his mouth and says, "This is my yard now." Drops it and walks out of there.
That was really awesome. I'm glad you brought that up because that was a moment of him just standing there, just being booed vociferously, and then
Yeah.
finally saying, "This is my art."
He's the best at like that quiet moment, like letting the crowd just be and him just give him a look and just he's so good with that. Just like he can cut a promo with just a look. Like he's so good now. Like. And it took a while for him to get as good as he is, but that's why I see him going face at some point because he's mastered this heel part. Now he's got to get over as a face.
That's
I
right.
feel like too, because he's the fucking star. He's like the biggest star there in wrestling right now together. I think.
My favorite Roman was when he was a big dog. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Roman now. He's damn good at what he does, but I think he's too arrogant. Like he thinks he's better than everybody. Like I said, but my favorite Roman was the big dog before he turned as the bad guy. So.
Well, guys, we've been on here almost 2 hours. It's 57, 150. We've been on here.
We got our man Brandon Valor here. It's been good.
At this point, I'd like to let everybody say their last words. I'm gonna let little Chris say something. What do you want to say?
That's
Chris?
right. Hiya, pal.
I guess it's been great, being on here.
You guess it's been great. Get the fuck out of here. If you guess
Get
it's
the
been
fuck
great.
out of here.
Get the fuck out of my
This
podcast
is-
room. If you guess it's
No,
been
I'm
great.
just kidding.
This is blasphemy.
It's been wonderful.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay, that's enough. All right.
I want to thank Brandon for being on here as a guest. Appreciate it, and I want to thank y'all for letting me be a part of the podcast. And I especially want to thank the fans because, like I said, I'm going to keep saying it, and I can't stress it enough. Without you all, we could not continue to do this podcast, and we could not continue bringing in the wrestlers every week. So
We appreciate you. We appreciate you, Chris Blade.
Dang straight.
Johnny, you want to go?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Brandon Valor, for coming in here. You cut great promos yourself on YouTube about your opponents. And I want to thank Andy, great host. Thank you, Chris Blade. Thank you, Mickey Mouse. House Shot.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yep.
And thank you to the fans. Please subscribe to the Facebook.
Brandon, go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to promote XCF Legendary. It's coming up this Friday. This is April 21st in Jeffersonville, Indiana. And then
What's that show about?
So that's for Legendary Larry D. It's a benefit to help his family out. So all proceeds are going to their family. I'm going to be in a triple threat match. Alex Cross, Jason Grimes. I've got your number. And then the following Saturday, which is the April 29th, is going to be Generation Next, Everything Legendary. Once again, to help out Legendary Larry D. And go support your local indie wrestling.
Yeah, legends never die.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
And I want to say thanks to everybody here at the Nice Guy Andy podcast. These guys are awesome, and they support indie wrestling more than anybody else. Trust me on that.
Yeah, we do. We support the Nice Candy Podcast. Support all wrestlers and all wrestling fans. If you guys can give us a little bit of support too, we have a subscription at $5.99, $4.99 on Facebook. I tried to lower it to like $1.99, but they wouldn't let me change it again. So it's $5.99, $4.99, guys. If you guys can go over there and give us $4.99 a month, we're looking for about 200 subscriptions, guys. If you guys can give us that, the podcast would be so much better. The bills would get paid, and then we would have a little bit of money left over to buy new equipment and to do other things and go to these shows and do the lives. And check out Royal Dark on Facebook for all your internet gaming needs. They stay up from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning. They stay up late for you guys. Give them a shout out. They're very loyal. They're very trustworthy to their customers. And Royal X for all your internet gaming needs. Check out Royal X. They stay open from 9 a.m. in the morning, 10 a.m. in the morning to 12 a.m. at night. 12 a.m. at night, and tell them that Nice Guy Andy podcast sent you, and they will give you $5 as free play. And Bucks and Buck Catering, tell them Nice Guy Andy podcast sent you. They'll give you a little discount for that. And check out Bobby Blade's YouTube channel, guys. Can't say enough about Bobby Blade's YouTube channel. He supports wrestling just as much as we do. He takes all the old wrestling. He searches for tapes. If you guys got any old footage of any of the old wrestling shows that have been around town, MFW, Mountain, all those old wrestling organizations, get them to Bobby Blade. He'll definitely put them up on his YouTube page. He's not trying to make any money with that, but we do like to get him 1,000 subscribers. He's probably at around 900 right now. Check out Bobby Blade. And we do have a YouTube channel too, guys. We got over 300 videos on YouTube. We've got like 300 subscribers. I know we got more fans than that. So, guys, if you go over,
we got 311 subscribers.
You go over to YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. Like, share, watch, and do all that stuff to all of our content on there. We are on Twitch too. Go over to Facebook. Like, share, subscribe. Give us some Facebook love, because everybody's on Facebook. Facebook seems to not love us as much as the fans do. So we reach over. Our impression is over 900,000. So we're reaching everybody. We're getting out there, guys. If you see us on there, just click and watch some of our stuff, man. We try to give you this show for free. If you guys can subscribe to us a little bit and help us out, would be great. Would be
damn
awesome.
straight it would.
And if you're not having fun,
you ain't getting none. Damn skip it.
Damn straight.
Yeet.
Outlaw out.
Yeah.
Nice Guy Andy podcast.
Yeah.
Skullface Records.
Radio.
It's been great having you, Brandon Valley.
Thanks,
That
guys.
ain't what your mama said.
It's really cool to see your setup.
If he keeps popping off at the mouth, I'm gonna be his daddy.
Ooh, yeah!
Thumbnail, too.
Anyways,
Oh dear Lord.
That's right.
this is a Zodiac. I'm telling you now, meditate, elevate, and dominate. Do it with the Nice Guy Indie podcast.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, you guys go on your little rinky-dink bullshit podcast.
Just show me some of the
Destroyer's a great guy. Like I talked to him a lot too. And I was like,
Doomsday?
Or Doomsday, Destroyer. Sorry. Doomsday is a good dude. He's a lot of knowledge. Like, so just listen to him, man. He will teach you so much. Just tuck your head too. Remember, tuck your
That's
head.
right. Took that head. And Chris, don't pour a shot that's too big because you gotta make it just right, just a little tiny right there.
But Dwayne Davis is rough, bro. He got me in a headlock when he did. So he went to push up on me and he poked me in the eye, and he didn't realize it, like doing that, like pushing me back, and poked me in the eye, and I'm like, dude, you made my eyes water. He's like, what I do? I'm like, you poked me